Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. Good job being here. Good job, Tower, over on Twitch for first comment of the day. Bringing in the heat, bringing the heat with the philosophy. Thank you, Tower, over on Twitch. Says, free canaries don't live in cages to have them rattled. Whoa, bro. Okay, folks. I don't know if you can tell. I'm starting earlier, a little bit longer here. Give myself some time to breathe, some time to interact, some time to say hello to Malik and Jonathan and Enoch and Chili Peen and Jess and Rami. Hello, everybody. Oh, Grandpa Bear's here, too. Good. And no more poopy puppies. It's on Twitch. Great. Okay, folks. Well, as usual, I'm here to tell you a few things. If you head on over to CanaryCry.Party, you'll see all sorts of fun stuff, including a brand new tab, never before seen. And you here on the pre-show, you get first look at CanaryCry.Bingo.com. That's right, CanaryCry.Bingo.com. Go check it out. The 2022 Canary Cry Radio, Canary Cry News Talk bingo cards are available. Be the first to head on over there. Download the bingo card pre-made by Miss G Beauty. Or if you think you can do better, Miss G Beauty made a DIY bingo card. And so here's the challenge, especially for you live viewers. Here is the challenge. Please head on over to CanaryCry.Bingo.com. Download the DIY card and make one yourself. Fill in the squares with things that, may happen in 2022. We'll be posting all those DIY cards done by Canarians just like you to Canary Cry Bingo so other Canarians can play your card. What a fun activity for the whole family. Okay, so go do that. Head on over to CanaryCry.Bingo.com. Download the 2022 bingo card and the DIY card. Make one yourself, send it in. We'd love to feature it on the show. Other than that, you know the drill. CanaryCry.Party. You can find all of our links. You can produce the show, all the stuff you need, especially the Canary Cry supply drop. Go check it out. Producership is it's let's just say it's not at capacity today. So if you've been thinking about producing the show, today is a great day to do that, and you will be handsomely rewarded with our love. Okay, I've rambled enough now. Let's get the show started.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today we are live to tape on January 19th, 2022. This is episode 435, and today, Devils of Davos. Razzle dazzle, I'm your best buddy Basil.
And this is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. Welcome back to another episode on this Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Clears the sinuses.
Yes, it is Wednesday, and the producers will not let us forget it. I'll tell you what. Okay, well, here we are, right in the middle of the week, Gonz. Lots of good stories today. Did you have anything you wanted to introduce us to at the top of the show here?
Like just banter or just story?
Either. I'm just handing it off.
Okay, well, let's just jump right in.
Space Pope Reptilian.
Because, according to the New York Times, 2 top aides to Pope Francis test positive for coronavirus. So, are they setting up the end of Francis here? Just slowly but surely. COVID surrounds him and then he goes down.
Hasn't this happened before?
Yes, it has. There was one before, I think, but now there's 2 here. Or maybe there was a couple before, too. Kind of trying to remember. The Vatican said Tuesday that two of Pope Francis's top aides, Cardinal Pietro Parolin and Vatican Secretary of State, and his deputy Archbishop Edgar Peña Parra, had tested positive for the coronavirus. Cardinal Parolin, 67, had light symptoms, while Archbishop Peña Parra, 61, had no symptoms, according to a spokesman for the Vatican, Matteo Bruni. They have self-isolated in their apartments in the Vatican, Mr. Bruni said.
Okay.
You know, archbishops self-isolating in apartments in the Vatican doesn't bring confidence, like publicly, based on their history. Just seems like bad things happen, you know, when...
I feel like their whole careers are just self-isolating in the Vatican.
I know.
That's what the whole idea of a bishop is sort of predicated on.
Yeah, separate from society and all that, but also, you know, just the bad things that happen tend to happen under the dead of night.
Yes, in solitude.
It just goes on here. The Pope. Okay. The article in New York Times. It's funny because they kind of. I can't tell if they're slamming Pope Francis here, but it says here ordinarily the two infected clergymen meet with Francis, who is 85, on a regular basis, but it was not clear on Tuesday when they had last seen the Pope. Francis has been an outspoken supporter of vaccination, which he has called an ethical obligation, though he often appears in public without a mask.
Ooh.
Bad Pope.
Whoa. What is the outlet
Pope.
on this?
New York Times.
Whoa, New York Times dragging the Pope for not wearing a mask.
Yeah, I guess the Vatican toughened restrictions this month, calling for employees and visitors to wear a N95 mask when indoors because, you know.
Yeah, sure.
You're a good person if you wear a mask. You're a bad person if you don't.
Of course, of course.
So there you go.
Well, you know who doesn't need to wear a mask?
Flippy?
Flippy!
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right. It's time for the Flippy update. If you're new to the show, Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world and just how there's nothing we can do about it. Today, we're talking RoboCop, Gonz, a little RoboCop update. This is coming from DesignBoom.com. And the headline is Cocobo robot uses AI to ensure peace and security in public spaces of Japan. Peace and security, Gonz.
Yeah, especially in Japan, you know, those violent Japanese people.
You gotta have peace and security on the wild streets of Tokyo.
Now, I have a video here.
You do have a video.
I do. Do you want to read some of it, though?
Does the video explain things?
No, it's all in Japanese.
Okay, why don't you play the video just underneath, and I'll read while the video plays.
Okay, well, okay. There is a part in the video.
Is there audio benefit for the podcast audience?
Kind of, but more so the description of what is happening, I think, is more important. Because I did edit it down, so it's not like the entire. I think it's like a 3.5 minute clip.
Gonz edit.
Edit.
Let me read a little bit because
Sure.
there's some interesting things in here, and then we can figure it out from there. Here we go. Cocobo robot uses AI to ensure peace and security in public spaces of Japan. A robot making security patrols of public spaces in Japan. Now, I will say we've covered plenty of security robots around the world. But, you know, we got to check in with the RoboCops because they are a big part of the robo-human relationship, which is what we like to explore. But the article goes like this. Security company CCOM introduces Cocobo, a robot designed to ensure peace and safety in the public spaces of Japan. The innovation operates on an AI system to perform patrols and inspection work on behalf of resident security guards, running. So he's doing work on behalf of the security guards.
Yeah, the video kind of shows the partnership therein.
Yes. So this is a cobot relationship, which is important. Continuing on, running at a maximum speed of 6 kilometers an hour and giving out visual, audio, and smoke warning to suspicious individuals. Cocobo catches the bad guys with the help of cutting-edge technology.
I have the video of the smoke. That was the thing that I wanted to point out.
Oh, the smoke. Okay. Yeah. Was it somebody smoking, or is there a fire?
No. So, okay. It's all in Japanese. So they're introducing Cocobo. Now, there's a guy who walks up to a door. He's trying to like pick the door. He's got a mask on. He's got sunglasses and a hat. You can't really see. He's a shifty guy, you know?
Yeah, he's trying to rob the place.
And Cocobo sees him. And shines a light on him, flashing light. And then, so this guy walks up to Cocobo, and then boom, big old cloud of smoke.
He sprays smoke at him. Wow, this is the first weaponized Robo Patrol robot we've seen.
I mean, it's kind of wild, but also, why blow smoke? I mean, he can get away. That's what magicians do when they disappear.
That's a good point. It does sort of. I have to assume that it's some sort of like pepper spray or irritant of some kind.
It could be, or just to disorient where you are. You can't tell.
Yeah, or maybe it coats the bad guy in like a film, like a black light detectable film. Kind of like the ink packs.
Right. So no matter where he goes, he leaves a print. So you maybe just follow him.
Nanoparticle GPS dust. Mm-hmm. We can track him like Bin Laden in the hills of Afghanistan.
I think this is when the magician plays the disappearance act, but it's when the underground prehistoric Nephilim come out and rob people. It's a great opportunity.
That's for the last part of the show. that's end of show stuff. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Flippy starts us off here first.
Okay.
Not to breeze past it, this is officially the first weaponized security robot that we've seen. Mm-hmm. We've seen all sorts of robots, but security robots that just sort of wheel around and get picked on by teenagers. But notably, they're sort of useless because they can't do anything. They just have cameras, or they can play a song or something to scare people away. But this actually has some sort of deployable smoke bomb if it sees something it wants to stop. So that's notable. In the history of the upcoming robot apocalypse, you have some sort of weaponized security robot being deployed in Japan. It's just smoke, but still, it's something.
Well, if we're going to continue down this path, logically, these robots are going to have taser guns and stuff, and then we're talking next. R2-D2 level stuff, and R2-D2 gets a little feisty. Yeah, pokes people, electrocutes them.
The next scene in that little video you were playing does show that the robot has a flippy arm. So it is also equipped with a flippy arm, hence its availability for the Flippy update. Flippy is mobile and it's hitting the streets to bring justice to the streets of Japan.
Yeah.
Let me continue with the article as we track how they're trying to present this. The Cocobo robot was developed by CCOM Design Factory, a collaborative project brand of CCOM, with Kotu Neza of Snug Design and Loftwork. Wow, everybody got a hand on this ball, apparently. The design focuses on the concepts such as harmony with public spaces and dignity and friendliness. So robots can be efficiently integrated into our everyday life. The name Cocobo comes from the idea of cognitive cooperation robots, referring to the creation of technological creatures that can collaborate and communicate with humans in a comprehensive manner. So that paragraph really has a lot packed into it. First of all, the marketing of, this robot will bring harmony with public spaces, with dignity and friendliness. That's what I think of when I think of a robotic police person, autonomously making decisions on who's breaking rules and who's not. Also a giant step forward in the sort of governance of human beings with robots. Not to mention its, participation in the Panopticon and, autonomous law keeping, which is problematic, so much so that the UN has spoken about it multiple times. But again, all being presented in this cobot, the collaborative robot. It's not just here to rule us. It's here to work with us to enslave ourselves. There's a big difference, Gonz.
Now, did they reference the people that they're helping, that it's helping as security guards?
They just said it helps other security guards.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
it's a commercial product.
Yeah, well, in the video, the security guards, they make them look like officers or soldiers or something. They're dressed very official.
It's Japan. They're much more sort of official that way. Now I'm going to skip down a little bit.
Okay.
It says here, if Cocobo spots suspicious individuals, it gives out audio or visual warnings. Meanwhile, it can also threaten them and prevent them from running away by emitting smoke. Okay.
Prevent them from running away.
This autonomous AI-powered robot who has a robotic arm and can deploy smoke, but it's here for harmony with public spaces and dignity and friendliness, can spot suspicious individuals. Now, this is problematic. As we know, every time AI has been put into use categorizing people, it's always, racist, discriminatory, biased. It's all the bad things. So, I don't know what you got to make sure to do to not be suspicious in front of this robot, but I can pretty much predict that there will be a story. It may not come out in the English news, but at least somewhere out there in the Japanese speaking news industry, there's going to be a story of somebody being falsely suspected by a robot and get gassed for no reason.
Yep.
And also using the word threaten them. This robot can threaten them and prevent them from running away by emitting smoke. Like they are not really pulling punches in the way they used to in the area of, no, this robot won't take over the world and, harm humans. It's the first law of robotics. A robot cannot harm any human. They're breaking the first law of robotics here, Gonzo. They talk a little about the arm. It has an arm, can be attached to inspect places that are difficult to reach, such as under a bench or the back or bottom of a vending machine. In addition, Cocobo has access to various data on the cloud, such as security systems, surveillance camera footage, as well as other information about elevators, electric locks, and other facilities in areas. In cooperation with humans, this newly unveiled robot is capable of realizing efficient and quality improvement in a wide range of security operations. Yeah, so not only is it sort of an autonomous individual robot that can take non-lethal actions against humans, but it is also connected to the hive mind, can check security cameras via the cloud. And, I see this robot as a beautiful, security flaw towards, all sorts of things. I think you can hack this little sucker, take control, take down the whole corporation with one of these suckers.
All you need is a little cyber pandemic, and all these little machines can turn into the one man
little agents of chaos.
Yeah, agents of chaos, or connect to the evil singularity mind that
should be a concern. That should be a concern with corporations. Imagine, maybe a tower, a skyscraper, a company buys maybe 20 of these, 50 of them, depending on how big the company is. Something goes wrong with the security on these things. You've got 50 robot soldiers
all coming into the CEO's office all at once. They blow smoke. CEO doesn't know where he is.
Strategizing,
falls out the window,
pulling some sort of adorable heist.
Yeah, and then all the screens go to the robot hive mind speaking in unison. Telling all the humans to kneel before them and stuff. Yeah, there you go.
It's just waiting to happen, man. And this is commercially available. This isn't even, we talk about military robots being
what
having
do you
these
think
types of capabilities.
They should bring us in for the insurance papers, just a language of what could go wrong, with all that stuff. We can come up with a lot. It would be a very thick set of papers, but we can come up with all kinds of stuff.
They won't let us anywhere near an insurance company. Gonz, you know this. All right. Well, there's your Flippy update for the day.
Excellent. Well, we can't go on today without talking about the Great Reset.
We need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
Yeah, these individuals certainly seem to be tapping into the dark side. This is the World Economic Forum, weforum.org. Headline, Cooperation, COVID-19 and Connections, Day 1 at the Davos Agenda 2022.
Wait a second. We can't move on quite yet.
Okay.
Because CanaryCry.Bingo.com, you look at your scorecard.
Oh.
We are checking off a box on Canary Cry Bingo
Already?
At the top of the show.
Wow.
Yeah, hold on. I forgot to pull up my bingo card.
I have it here. What is it? Tell me.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of the last bingo card. Is RoboCop? RoboCop has to be on here. It was
robot.
Was it
There's
on the last
a lot of robot
one?
ones.
It was on the last one. Robo Police was on 2021, but we did get Robo Police in 2020.
Missed it by a few weeks.
Okay, sorry to interrupt.
All right. Well, that was a big nothing burger.
I know. I should have looked before I.
All right, let me try it again.
We need a great reset.
Learn to use the dark side of the Force.
weforum.org. Cooperation, COVID-19 and Connections, Day 1 at the Davos Agenda 2022. On the first day of the Davos Agenda 2022, we heard from Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China, Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, and Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the UN. I got a bunch of video here. This is just like, the whole article was videos. It was like, here's this person, here's this person. So I just clipped some of it to, save some time. Here's Xi Jinping. There's a translator, so we don't have to understand Chinese here, but here we go.
Confronted by the once-in-a-century pandemic, which will affect the future of humanity, the international community has fought a tenacious battle. Facts have shown, once again, that amidst the raging torrents of a global crisis, countries are not riding separately in some 190 small boats, but are rather all in a giant ship on which our shared destiny hinges. Small boats may not survive a storm, but a giant ship is strong enough to brave a storm. Thanks to the concerted efforts of the international community, major progress has been made in the global fight against the pandemic. Countries need to strengthen international cooperation against COVID-19, carry out active cooperation on research and development of medicines.
Isn't this hilarious coming from China? I'm sorry, I have to barge in here. China says, "Oh, we need cooperation. We need all the data. Weren't they the ones that withheld so much if it came from China? They did not share with the international community what was actually going on."
That's how they work, man. That's the thing.
So this is just straight lies.
Claim some sort of international morals, but not actually abide by them. Liar! To be fair, we do that too.
You're right. It's just I don't know why it just feels more egregious when China does it. Maybe we're just more sly, about it.
Theater. Yeah, it's all theater.
Build multiple lines of defense against the coronavirus and speed up the efforts to build a global community of health for all. Of particular importance is to fully leverage vaccines as a powerful weapon, ensure the equitable distribution, quicken vaccination, and close the global immunization gap.
Hey, at least he admitted the vaccine is a weapon.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say that it's not now. Hey, the Chinese president said it.
I love it too. Well, because here in the U.S., we've followed different reporting referring to, the vaccine is the arsenal, the U.S.'s arsenal of vaccines, stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Here's who is this? Richard Hatchett, who's the CEO of CEPI, who co-leads COVAX. He kind of rambles on about the accomplishments of COVAX, but it does kind of, if these numbers are true, just how widespread this little campaign, this big pharma campaign has been, and how many people have gotten vaccines and stuff.
COVAX, which is the CEPI and Gavi and WHO and UNICEF led effort to distribute vaccines globally, particularly to lower, middle, and low-income countries, passed the threshold of having delivered two countries a billion doses. And I think it speaks to the point that Stefan was making. We've now produced over 11 billion doses of vaccine since the beginning of the pandemic. 9 billion doses have been administered. The supply constraints that dominated the situation in 2021 and were a huge problem, a heartbreaking problem, have eased. And where supply was the major challenge for 2021, I think, as Stefan is saying, the last mile is going to be the major challenge for 2022. And the major thing that the world is going to need to do to make vaccine available to everyone who wants it, and make both primary vaccination and booster doses available to everyone in the world who wants it, which I think is an achievable goal in 2022 with the vaccine production that we have, is helping countries, particularly the less well-resourced countries, build their capabilities to do mass vaccination programs and to deliver vaccine to their populations.
So one of the things that's interesting,
it's kind of hard to listen to.
Man, I don't know. For me, it was kind of I knew close to the numbers that he said, 11 billion vaccines, created, 9 billion administered. If you think about just sort of the game planning, like, people talk about the Illuminati or the elite or whatever, and people mock it sometimes. But if you just think about a group of people who came together and said, okay, how are we going to distribute this medicine to the whole world? Let's just figure out, let's just roll it out, see how it looks. And to be able to sit there and tally and be like, okay, there's 7 point whatever billion people on Earth. We produced 11 billion vaccines and we've administered 9. Obviously not everyone's gotten it. It's like, multiple shots for the, a dense part of that population.
Right.
But then to just kind of think of humanity as this, like, oh, there's this other group that's just not getting it yet. We just need to continue with the distribution. The supply chain issues are, but like, I don't know, the way you talk about all of humanity through this one lens of vaccination, it's just such a weird, I don't know, man. Yeah. I guess people just do that in general when you talk about data. But I guess that's the danger of the times we're living in with. I
mean, that's kind of the purpose of the World Economic Forum.
True.
They see it all. They're a bunch of lizard people at the top who are in a very exclusive club who want to economize in order to, there's an old saying, Gonz, in business, which is what gets measured gets managed. Which is, if you're not measuring a certain aspect of your business, you're not managing it. You're just not paying attention to it. So you have to measure everything that you want to manage. And as you measure it, then you're able to make decisions and, do sort of a top-down approach at making, your business better. Or in this, in the World Economic Forum's case, it's, how do we make the Great Reset better,
right?
And measuring human beings as vaccinated or not vaccinated is an economic issue for them. They are measuring that, and they are making decisions on a global governance based on that is a core heuristic for them, which just goes to show. Now they do this in all sorts of different ways. Pretty much every single way that they count human beings is some sort of horrific, cold, calculated inhumanization of, children of God who have consciousness and lives and hopes and dreams. But that's not really the World Economic Forum's focus.
Just another tick on the tab.
Yeah.
Here's the same guy, Richard Hatchett, talking a little bit about the pandemic response and how it might be kind of like the flu.
I do think that we will get to a point this year where populations around the world either have been infected or had the benefits of vaccination, and we will get closer to that equilibrium with COVID. And we're likely, probably post-Omicron, many countries will have, absent a new variant emerging, which it can do at any moment unpredictably, we will have a quieter period with the virus. But I think the long-term view on COVID, we have to anticipate that COVID is going to behave more like flu in terms of it will continue to circulate, it will be around, people will get sick, and there will be continual evolution of the virus. And unpredictably, the virus appears to have the capacity to become essentially pandemic at any time. I mean, Omicron has moved very, very rapidly. It's behaving exactly like an acute pandemic, as Tony, I think, was describing. And the virus is going to retain that capability in the future. And that's something that, I think should be quite concerning to all of us.
So it's a magical
I'm sure you would love that to be concerning to all of us. I'm sure that is one of your core values, is to keep us all concerned about a disease that is basically the common cold.
Just ever changing, unexpectedly. Kept using that word, unexpectedly.
Yeah,
it can
out of
morph,
nowhere.
and out of nowhere it can go to pandemic levels. It's
It's so funny because he talks about the Omicron acute pandemic,
right?
But it's like, yeah, we're in a pandemic. What do you mean? Is there a pandemic within a pandemic? Is that what you're trying to say?
Aren't you guys the people who determine if we're in a pandemic to begin with? Well, maybe not the World Economic Forum per se, but they're tied in with the World Health Organization and the CDC, the people who do decide.
This is literally just trying to keep the fear going.
Unreal, man.
Yeah.
Next one. This is a short one from Annelius Wilder Smith. And she's like the hygienist or something, the UK hygienist lady, and she talks about the variant, another variant coming. Same thing, keeping the fear going.
Omicron will not be the last variant. Clearly, with such high viral circulation as we are seeing now, there's a high probability that we will have another variant coming up. The question is where and when, and will it be more dangerous or less dangerous than the current variant of concerns?
Yep. Scary. Who gets to win? Who wins the next location of the origin of the variant?
That's a good point. I should have brought this collection of stories that I had put together, but this is a great place just to mention it. Okay. CNN had a report, which, I love it when CNN reports on this stuff, about how Anthony Fauci was saying, yes, Omicron is giving a lot of natural immunity. This is really great. But you never know if another big scary variant comes around that will evade that natural immunity. And first of all, it's like, okay, yeah, you are correct. We don't know if a new variant will come and evade that immunity. But also, do you mean exactly how Omicron evaded your stupid vaccine immunity? You mean exactly how that happened? And then CNN was saying, but, some people are saying that vaccines get less and less dangerous as they get more and more virulent. This is false. And I thought, that's what we've been hearing. That's what the biologists have been telling us, whether there are current, our 25-year plus in-house microbiologists here at the show, or just other biologists around the world. The general rule is that viruses, they don't want being an incorrect scientific term, but as a metaphor, they don't want to kill the person. A virus does not want to kill anybody. It actually wants to keep them alive, because if they keep the host alive, that gives them a chance to mutate and live and spread their DNA and that kind of stuff. So generally, viruses don't get more deadly. They get less deadly, because the less deadly version of the virus, spreads better and survives to pass, to replicate and stuff like that. So I did a little search. I'm like, who's saying stuff about this? And there was all sorts of fact checks that basically said the same thing. Mainstream corporate news media fact checks. The one I was going to bring was from USA Today, saying, fact check, viruses get less deadly as they get more virulent. There's this whole long thing, and they ended up with false. Viruses do not get less deadly as they become more virulent. And they gave two examples. One of them was the 1918 flu pandemic, in which they said the 1918 flu pandemic killed 50 million people, and we still get the flu today. So therefore, it's more deadly. And I was reading it like, this is literally, they're hoping nobody reads this, because that makes zero sense. They were trying to say that the flu today is more deadly because it spreads faster than the 1918 pandemic. The other example they gave was Ebola. Remember that Ebola thing that happened a little while back? Yeah. They said, I think it was 2016 was the big Ebola thing. And they said, take Ebola. There was a Ebola pandemic in Africa, and it was super deadly. And then it ended right away. So see, viruses get more deadly. Like, okay, again, you're proving the point. It was super deadly for a year and then went away because it's, that's not what viruses want. So anyways, there's this sort of back and forth going on in the media that are it's just the same old, like, I know, stupid citizen, what the science is, but we're a newspaper, so listen to us. And the same vibe is coming from this World Economic Forum woman.
100%. I like that. Just full-on analysis.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
It's kind of a rant.
I wish I had the sources to show everybody, but instead we just stared at that lady's face.
I seriously had them pulled up. I was like, should we add this? I don't know. We're starting late. It's a long show. Nah, I'll forget about it.
It's okay. So, you were just delaying. You were filibustering the inevitable.
Science is truth. We really don't want to get into the whack-a-mole approach towards every new variant, where it comes up and you all of a sudden have to make a new booster against a particular variant it gets up, because you'll be chasing it forever. So that's the reason why one of the things we are really all pushing for is what Richard just mentioned, of finding out what the mechanisms are that induces a response to a commonality among all of the different real and potential variants that we're seeing and that can occur. And that's something that I think is a very, very important scientific goal, to be able to do that.
Do what? You lost me there for a second.
Identify the commonalities of all the variants, potential and unexpected or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, he's just trailing on and on. Talking about the whack-a-mole approach of the variants, and we can change the boosters, and I don't know, man. He's kind of just rambling.
Again, it goes to the economics of it all, the World Economic Forum. Yes. What he's trying to say is, hey, drug companies, vaccine manufacturers, distribution companies, everybody involved in this, don't worry. We here at the World Economic Forum are here to tell you that new variants will pop up, we'll need new vaccines, and the money will keep flowing. I
think that's what it is, because now you have this cat and mouse game of variant alterations in the vaccine, alteration, and you can just play that pendulum and print money.
Same business model as the flu vaccine.
Exactly. It's just on a bigger scale. I mean, they really, if you think about how they're pulling this thing off, yeah, absolutely. It's the flu model, just at a much bigger scale, worldwide, billions. Here's more from Fauci talking about the next phase here.
I think if you look at the history of infectious diseases, we've only eradicated one infectious disease in man, and that's smallpox. That's not going to happen with this virus. Then there's elimination. Elimination means
sorry to butt in here, but it's hilarious, because this is an entire shift in narrative, especially hearing it. And it didn't really occur to me until I heard it in Fauci's voice, where, during especially the first year of vaccination and stuff, we can eradicate COVID. The vaccine is the key to destroying COVID forever. We can, that was the sales pitch being told to us over and over and over, day in, day out, especially by Fauci. And now it's just opposite. We're never getting rid of it. It's never going to happen. And what we're not getting rid of is the vaccine. So get used to it, folks.
Right.
Elimination means when you get rid of it in your own country, but it's somewhere not in your country, but it's there. For example, polio has been eliminated in the United States and many developing nations. So what's the next one up the ladder is control. Control means you have it present, but it is present at a level that does not disrupt society. And I think that's what most people feel when they talk about endemicity, where it is integrated into the broad range of infectious diseases that we experience. For example, the cold weather upper respiratory infections, the parainfluenzas, the respiratory syncytial viruses, the rhinovirus, the adenoviruses. You want to get it at a level that doesn't disrupt society. That's the answer to your first question. That's my definition of what endemicity would mean, a non-disruptive presence without elimination.
You know, there was a Wesley J. Smith article that I don't think we brought. I mentioned it in the last episode. It's in the additional story section of the show notes from either last episode or the episode before that. And it was talking about how the technocrats really want to use respiratory health to bring about more control of the, through the health mechanism, the health industry or whatever it may be. And
specifically respiratory. And I think Fauci's talking about that same thing because, if you get scanned and, you have some bronchitis or something like that, we got to put you in this treatment. You're not fit to be in society. You can easily do that. You can easily control people's ability because the respiratory thing is the most infectious.
Yes.
Or not infectious. What is the word? You can spread it easier just by breathing. The very act of breathing makes you a danger to society.
Right. Right. In theory.
Plus, you can pop those suckers into chemtrails.
Right.
Or air ducts.
Here is. This is Sunil Bharti Mittal from Bharti Enterprises. I believe he represents a big corporation in India. And he's talking about the fourth industrial revolution.
The fourth industrial revolution, which came upon us in the last few years, has truly now shown itself in this last 2.5 years to be the only possible way to take away the poverty of
the only possible way.
Somebody's been reading his Klaus Schwab material.
Way to take away the poverty of the world, to support all the SDG goals that UN has set up by 2030. There is no other way but for us to serve the society, but in a very strong digital infrastructure that needs to be provided across the entire globe.
I like how he's just like, there's no other way to do this other than a total digital surveillance state.
And it's based on bringing the world out of poverty. There's no other way to bring people out of poverty than to create a 100% propaganda-fueled panopticon hellscape.
I don't know. Jesus kind of gave us a good way to end world poverty. I mean, if we just followed basic principles, less about a system in place and more about just individual behavior.
It's really impressive, the lack of subtlety that these people have.
I think
the World Economic Forum, Davos, all these elite lizard people getting together and just throwing any subtlety or complexity into the fire and watching it burn as they dance around and, make blockchains or something.
As time goes on and as sort of the deeper moral implications become obvious, I think it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's just going to get worse where it's almost like they have to separate their own humanity to say some of the things they're saying.
Totally.
Just to kind of get on with it and just to keep the checks coming, basically.
Well, yeah. And they just already are so disconnected from normal humanity.
Yeah, they
I mean, you look at this guy. He's in his fancy suit. He's got his mahogany walls behind him. He's got probably a sculpture that cost $100,000. He's got a huge. He's just the image. I can't tell. Just the image of him here is totally disconnected, elite lizard person, 1%, no connection to the average man. And they're all just doing the same thing. They are not connected with humanity. Therefore, they are qualified to rule it and create systems by which to manage an entire human population of coming up on 9 billion people soon.
Hans is right. Billions of people are still not on internet. And why are they not on internet? Of course, partly because they don't have the coverage, but many people have the coverage, but not affordability. So in today's session, we are also going to talk about affordability. If a country like India can provide very high quality, large dollops of data per month at $3, there's no reason why we can't carry this.
$3 what? $3 a month? $3 a day? $3
that's
a megabyte?
Yeah.
Through into Africa and marginalized parts of the world where affordability is an issue.
So make it affordable. That's been kind of the whole calling cry here is we got to come together. We got to get
Starlink.
Yeah.
It's the Starlink. It's the remember Mark Zuckerberg's weird gliders?
Yeah, his
24/7.
Oh no, he had the airplane thing.
He had the solar powered gliders,
right? That
were going to fly around the Earth indefinitely and just beam internet to everybody.
Yes. And then Google had their balloons.
Yeah.
And so everybody's got something going on up there.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's some of the clips. There's another World Economic Forum article. 4 experts explain what's coming next in the fight against COVID-19. It's kind of the similar thing there with
experts
living with COVID. Yeah, it's Fauci. It's the same guy from COVAX.
It's COVID is forever. Vaccines are forever. We need everybody to be tagged and on the network, and that's how we're going to solve poverty. We're the World Economic Forum.
And this published on the UNESCAP or unescape.org website here. It's a UN program moving forward together, and the headline for this is E-Resilience Readiness for an Inclusive Digital Society by 2030. And just a couple highlights here. The COVID-19 pandemic clearly demonstrated a link between digitization and development, both by showing the potential of digital solutions and by laying bare the significant digital divides that still exist, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. The action, so they have an action plan, and it includes so the action plan consists of 3 main pillars with 25 actions centered on connectivity for all, digital technologies and applications, and digital data. One of the key focus areas under the pillar of connectivity is connectivity for all is e-resilience. It is identified as essential to accelerate digital transformation. The ability of a society to resist, accommodate, adapt to, and recover from the effects of shocks, including disasters, in a timely and efficient manner can be measured through resilient ICT infrastructure. Now, to me, that is like, okay, we're going to tell you if you're compliant enough to be, like a compliant prepper. Like you must prepare for the disaster that we tell you is going to come. And if you don't, then you're a bad person and, you don't get access to society, whatever it may be. In this connection, it's ESCAP, I guess it's SCAP, but to me it sounds like escape. And it's just a weird thing to, acronym to have. It sound like escape, the whole digital connectivity agenda.
Yeah, it's what you want to do when you're in the system.
Exactly. And it just goes into the whole, some nations that are in it and, how the metrics work and how they're progressing all this towards 2030. I mean, it's all out there. I don't see a way for your normie friends or family to deny that this is what's happening. And actually, I guess we don't have to talk about it now, but there was a Reuters article that just published that was talking about no, it's not a Great Reset is not a conspiracy theory. It's just an agenda. This is the post-pandemic agenda to bring us all back together. Which if people knew history, they would know that that's exactly what they did after, or what they do after every war, especially World War. Mm-hmm. And just more control.
And I'm sure Reuters didn't write in their article that it was the Great Reset was being advertised and rolled out in 2016 with their marketing
probably
materials.
No.
This
is all
no. It's just a post-pandemic plan. They haven't been planning this for years.
Yeah, well, pretty obvious. Anybody paying attention is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. It feels like we've already done a lot of COVID.
I know.
But
let's keep moving.
We have more COVID.
Yeah.
It's Corona time. COVID-19. 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 Yes. COVID-19. COVID-19. Coronavirus. Vaccine, number one way.
Do it.
Okay. Starting off here, we're going over to the DailyCaller.com here. Nice conservative outlet. This was sent to us by Sir Sigra the Beast. Thank you very much, Sir Sigra, for bringing this to our attention. The headline is CDC says natural immunity outperformed vaccines in Delta strain. Okay.
Mine says against Delta strain.
Oh, yeah. Again, what did I say?
In Delta strain.
Oh, against Delta strain. Yes.
Okay.
So this is fun. One of the biggest pushbacks we get about information regarding, vaccines and Omicron and blah, blah, blah is, it just hasn't been long enough. Well, this is fun because this is Delta strain, which has been around for quite a long time, at least a year. So some new info is coming out from the CDC, came out today. Natural immunity from prior infection granted stronger levels of protection against the Delta variant of COVID-19 than vaccination alone, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said in a study released Wednesday. Before Delta became dominant, individuals who had natural immunity were experiencing higher case rates than individuals who were only vaccinated, the study found. But after Delta took hold, those with natural immunity caught COVID-19 less frequently than those who were only vaccinated. The study examined 4 categories of people, unvaccinated and vaccinated, who survived a previous COVID-19 infection or vaccination, and unvaccinated and vaccinated who never had been infected. In California and New York between May and November 2021, the highest case rates were among those who had neither been vaccinated or previously infected. The most protection against infection and hospitalization was in those who had both been vaccinated and survived an earlier bout with the virus. The agency cautioned that the data in question only measured results against the Delta variant and that Omicron may present new challenges that alter the calculus of natural immunity versus vaccination. That's nice. They're leaving a little, we just don't know about the Omicron, as usual. Biden administration officials and some public health experts have repeatedly downplayed the effectiveness of natural immunity against COVID-19, but this study is only the latest to indicate that recovery from prior infection can at least rival, if not surpass, that offered from vaccination alone. Most research has shown that for maximum protection against reinfection or severe illness, those who were previously infected should still get vaccinated. Many legacy media outlets covered the study by minimizing the finding that natural immunity outperformed vaccines and emphasizing that a combination of both provided the best protection. Headlines from the New York Times, Associated Press, CNN, and others claimed that vaccination offers the best or safest protection, according to the study. In a press call Wednesday, the CDC's Dr. Benjamin Silk, an epidemiologist that co-authored the study. Dr. Silk. Did not elaborate on the increased protection natural immunity provides and repeated the administration line that every American should get vaccinated. So the fun little detail, of course, we've heard that, natural infection and vaccination together, is the best protection you could possibly have. But what was ignored is that in the study, natural infection alone was rated higher than vaccination alone, which is fun. A fun little detail, especially considering the Djokovic debacle going on, getting kicked out of Australia for 3 years, having natural immunity, but not having, vaccination, but not good enough.
Yeah, I was looking at the study here, and it says that before Delta became the predominant variant in June, case rates were higher among persons who survived a previous infection than persons who were vaccinated alone. I thought that was significant for some reason, and I highlighted it for some reason, and I don't know why now.
We'll read it again.
Before Delta became the predominant variant in June...
hospital rates were highest among persons who were unvaccinated without previous diagnosis. So, yeah, unvaccinated, no natural immunity.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I thought there was something more significant about that, but for some reason it's
somewhere
not really.
in here, I didn't highlight it, but somewhere in here, wow, this is just a humongous block of text.
I know, it's crazy.
There's no way I can cruise through and pick it out again. But the point being, everybody was reporting that both natural immunity and vaccination is the best, right? Which is funny because if you get vaccinated, you're still going to get sick.
Yeah.
And then you have both. Then you have vaccination and natural immunity. So you're going to get natural immunity no matter what, even if you are vaccinated. But on the scale of worst to best protection, natural immunity rated higher than vaccination alone.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, turns the entire narrative on its head. I mean, they spent 6 months talking about how natural immunity doesn't exist.
Good
beautiful
luck.
Thing about and that's the thing about science is you bring this to like a Fauci or a Rochelle Walensky, and they've got the beautiful defense mechanism, which is true when it comes to true science, the system of science, not the
practice.
The aristocracy.
Yeah.
Yes, the practice of science is you can always get more information later. The problem is when you're making worldwide decisions
Government
that
decisions.
take away people's autonomy over their own body and lie to them for years. Years you're lying to them. And shutting down the entire world and ruining people's lives. And then when you're proven wrong, which other people were trying to tell you the whole time, and you just say, well, we just didn't have it then. We're sorry we ruined the entire world. But now we know. That's just science for you. Which is just infuriating.
Yeah. So. Similar to the story here, I guess there was quite the setup from a few days ago. This is from the Herald, Scotland Herald. COVID Scotland, case rates lowest in unvaccinated as double-jabbed elderly drive rise in hospital admissions.
Oopsies.
And it says here, double-jabbed Scots are now more likely to be admitted to hospital with COVID than the unvaccinated, amid an increase in elderly people falling ill due to waning immunity. It comes amid, quote-unquote, weird data showing that case rates have been lower in unvaccinated individuals than the single, double, or even triple jabbed since Omicron became the dominant variant in Scotland. It's just weird data. We don't know what to do with it. The counterintuitive data from Public Health Scotland contradicts previous pandemic trends, which have consistently shown infection, hospitalization, and death rates to be highest among the unvaccinated. However, one expert stressed that the patterns probably reflect factors such as Omicron initially transmitting in more affluent communities. Quote, it does appear weird until you start breaking things down, said Professor Rowland Cow, chair of veterinary epidemiology and data science at Edinburgh University. According to the latest PHS report, the COVID death rate has been consistently higher since December 4th in the double jabbed compared to the unvaccinated, but much lower in the triple jabbed. Aha!
Oh. What in the world?
Okay, so
if you're double jabbed,
you're going to die
more than unjabbed.
But if you're triple jabbed, then oh my gosh, this
you know
is
what
ridiculous.
That speaks to? That speaks to the immune dependency thing.
It does.
So if you have the two jabs,
you're waning immunity.
You've likely had them for coming up on a year or something.
Right.
So
Over 6 months.
You're dependent. You're becoming dependent on the vaccination,
like a heroin addict.
Yeah. So if you were never vaccinated, you have higher tolerance. if you got vaccinated a while ago, you better go get your booster, or else you're gonna.
Or you're worse off than you if you were unvaccinated.
Right, worse off than if you had never gotten the shot.
That's what they're saying. Wow, that is, hey, science.
Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of the immune dependency thing that's been going around, but I know a lot of smart people are talking about it.
Yeah.
But that sounds like a perfect illustration in the data of the immune dependence.
And they go through and show all the data, and
science is truth.
Oops, that's a late one. To try to leave that little wiggle room of, well, it's science. There's more data can come, and we don't know until we know.
We'll see. But it is funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's horrible because you have so many people. I see it on Twitter all the time. I see all sorts of people talking about it. Like, nope, not getting the booster. I'm done. I got the vaccine. That was supposed to fix me. It didn't. I'm done. And now they're sort of getting turned. They're realizing they've been lied to for so long, which is like the worst position to be in because you've already you're in the system, man.
Yeah.
You're in the system. Possibly if this immune dependency thing is real. You've
taken the blue pill.
Yeah, you bent the knee, you got the vaccine, and now you're in the dependency cycle, and it's probably going to be very hard to get out. Now, we don't know, if you don't keep taking the booster, perhaps you can recover from that sort of dependency. I don't know. Again, I just don't know. But that is possible. We got to wait for the data, Gonz.
Got to wait for the data. Here's a story from CNN. I got a video clip. Which actually the video clip was interesting because the story had nothing to do with the video clip, or at least the article from CNN. Omicron might mark the end of COVID-19's pandemic phase unless a certain scenario happened, Fauci says. It goes back to what he said at the World Economic Forum, so we don't have to go through that again. But how they always have a video at the top of the page, and it doesn't always have to do with the headline. That's what this is. This is a 1-year-old getting COVID and CNN reporting on it. And I don't like how the anchor kind of leads on this mom here. But also just have the idea of comorbidities in mind when you watch this as we go through the clip here.
So at the beginning, it was pretty basic. Little cough, little mild, not even a fever. I mean, he did really well. And then all of a sudden, just one night, he just all of a sudden was having more issues to breathe and was struggling more to breathe. So I kind of knew it was time to kind of talk to our pediatrician again and kind of recheck in. And then things just very fastly progressed. Until we ended up having to be transferred down for a possible backup of something called like ECMO, where he might need to be on like a heart and lung machine. So we did end up being able that Omaha had a bed for us. And so we were able to come down here, and they truly, honestly have saved our son's life.
What is your message to people who refuse to get vaccinated, who are saying, this is an individual's choice?
It's really hard for me, I think, personally, and then, just how it's all gotten turned a little bit different. But I think just for us to know that there's so many people out there who are trying their hardest and still have done everything right, and it still wasn't enough for us. I'm sure there's a lot of people who were shocked when they found out Crew had it, because we weren't out and about. We aren't doing things. Our family all still continues to mask when they're with us. Just different things like that. I just want people to know that it is really serious. And some kid can have a runny nose or a cough, or like for me and you who are vaccinated, it might not hardly seem like anything more than just a common cold. But for kids like Crew who have a history of Down syndrome and heart defect and things like that it can be deadly and fatal to these sweet kids who can't do anything about it.
What does that have to do with vaccination?
See, that's what's so weird about this story is they literally had a kid who had heart problems and Down syndrome who apparently got COVID and, had to get hospitalized and all this. And they're kind of trying to make it like a guilt trip. Oh, if you got the vaccine, you're a good person.
Blaming it on the unvaccinated.
Yeah, they're trying really hard. I don't think it worked.
Yeah, because the anchor asked specifically about vaccination.
Yep, and what you have on the screen here is the number of deaths and how it's risen this week, and then a tally of the number of people fully vaccinated, 63%. It's like a game show or something. Just all these numbers.
They're just really trying to shoehorn it in there. It's not like the baby could have been vaccinated.
Right.
Presumably, the mom and dad are vaccinated. They did everything right. They don't go out. Where did this baby, first of all, where did this baby get COVID? If they really are, it didn't sneak in the door, didn't sneak in through the air ducts or something. There needs to be a person breathing near them for them to get it. Unless, how old was the baby? Is this a new
one? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless, where geographically are they?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
They're in California. It could have just been a nurse in the hospital.
True. Omaha, Nebraska says.
Okay. Well, it's not. That's not California.
It's not California.
Yeah, that is really weird. And them trying to shoehorn in. Well, what would you say to the unvaccinated about your baby who got sick?
It's such a weird.
You can even kind of tell she kind of responds like.
That's what I noticed. That's what I picked up on too.
I don't really know.
It was such a strong question. Just like you better say that. I think she was even kind of like, everyone's kind of There's people different sides. That I think that's kind of what a normal person would respond to, unless you're totally coached up on what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, especially because now it's even generally accepted by the mainstream corporate media, or at least they can't deny it any longer, that vaccination does not stop the spread. So what would vaccination have to do with this child at all? Unless it's a little bit of an advertisement or a signal for the the trials they're doing now for the really young vaccination. Aren't they doing testing, or it's at the FDA waiting to get approved for 2 to 5 year olds?
Something like that. I
Maybe
don't remember
it's just
the exact.
oh man, if only the FDA would hurry up and approve vaccinating 1-year-olds, this wouldn't have happened to this baby who has a history of Down syndrome and
heart problems.
Not sure what a history. I don't think this baby could get the vaccine anyways.
Right. That's I don't know. It's just kind of a weird.
You have heart problems, you can't get the vaccine.
It's weird. I think this mom, thought she was reporting, or at least being interviewed about her son, which she was. And you don't want to see anybody get sick or any kid get sick or whatever. But just that anchor is just very aggressive.
Yeah, what do you
agenda?
What would you say to the unvaccinated?
Wow, he's made it really political. Here's another story. This was following the Houston Methodist Church, who suspended one of the doctors. Apparently, she has come out and has filed a lawsuit against the hospital. And here's the report on it from KPRC2. I did kind of mess with the reporter at the tail end of the clip here. He was breathing really hard. Like, I don't know if he ran to his spot or something like that. And he has a lot of compression. You know how compression sometimes on a microphone, you know this, Basil, because you're like you've done a little mixing. If you put too much compression on a mic, the breathing in can sound just as loud as the voice. So there's a little bit of that going on, but it was just very annoying. But anyway, that's apart from the actual story itself here.
Dr. Mary Bowden announced today, with supporters right behind her, that she plans to file a lawsuit against the hospital system. KPRC2's Mario Diaz live in the Upper Kirby area with this legal move and his high-profile story. Mario?
Daniela, the attorney for Dr. Bowden, reached out to me here in the last 30 minutes. He says that the lawsuit has been filed. This all comes in response to what Dr. Bowden did 2 months ago, and that was speak up and question the way the COVID treatment and vaccination process was being handled.
Doctors can't be scared to question the narrative.
This is the position Dr. Mary Bowden says she and over 16,000 other doctors worldwide have had over COVID vaccines. Part of a shifting movement developing, she says, involving doctors who feel differently about the approach to early COVID treatment.
I think ivermectin needs to stop being such a dirty word. I don't understand why it's such a safe drug. I don't understand how it's become so controversial.
Dr. Bowden believes in ivermectin so much, she had her latest recipient stand beside her at a news conference this morning, fully recovered after recently providing her high-dosage tablets designated for humans.
The only people I work for are my patients.
Yeah, you mean not not horse medication?
Yeah, that was funny. And they're showing the B-roll that's running is they're showing Equimax, which is the horse version of. They're showing a picture.
Safe in horses.
Safe in horses. 4 weeks of age and older. Contents will treat up to 1,320 pounds of body weight. So he is saying ivermectin. Well, the humankind, but showing a picture of the horse paste.
They only have B-roll of the horse stuff. They don't have B-roll.
That's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their B-roll database. You search ivermectin, it's all horse paste.
There must be some kind of backroom deal with Equimax. Like, hey, we're gonna just anytime ivermectin comes up, we're just use your product. So horse owners will be like, oh yeah, I should.
It's just in the database. Nobody even bothered. None of their cameramen or producers bothered to get any B-roll of human ivermectin. So it's all horse paste. But yeah, you're right. If we would have known, we could have invested in Equimax long ago. But that would have been a nice stock pick.
Yeah.
Ivermectin. I got COVID. Ivermectin. All kinds of meds. Ivermectin. Everything. Ivermectin. Boom, he took ivermectin.
All right, let's continue on with the clip here.
After recently providing her high-dosage tablets designated for humans.
The only people I work for are my patients, and I treat them the way I would want to be treated.
Now, 2 months removed from her suspension by Methodist and her resignation for publicly revealing her beliefs surrounding COVID treatments and vaccines, Dr. Bowden announced she is filing a lawsuit against Methodist.
Because they have not responded to my request for information, I've decided to take legal action against Methodist.
The case is to be filed within the next 24 hours, according to Bowden's attorney. And it boils down to Methodist not being transparent over COVID cases and the stats they have compiled involving the vaccine.
Two of their key core values are integrity and accountability, yet they won't share their data with us.
And Houston Methodist had no comment with regards to the pending lawsuit when we reached out to him this afternoon. Now, Dr. Bowden is an ear, nose, and throat specialist, but her practice has transformed a bit during the course of COVID. She tells me that she has helped more than 2,000 patients during this process. I asked her if she has lost any patients during the pandemic. She told me only one. Live in Upper Kirby, Mario Diaz, KPRC2 News.
Sorry, he was breathing really.
Those who are just listening missed the gem of the video, which is every breath this man took. Gonz added a little flair to the video. Very funny.
Just a little zoom in to
just a little zoom in
because it was very loud.
It's like the ivermectin thing. You know, they show the horse paste when he breathes. Yeah, he. You know, I think what it is he's just his brand is the yelling reporter guy.
Right.
And you know,
he was told to be like Alex Jones, be the straight corporate Alex Jones.
Does have a little bit of that. Maybe he's feeling a little bit of respiratory distress or something.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Well, that wasn't a bad report.
No.
I thought it was fair, or fairly fair compared to the types of reports that you would usually be getting. This is a local channel, I'm assuming.
So CNBC affiliate, yeah.
Okay.
KPRC, yeah.
Okay, so it's like a local affiliate. So good for them. Interesting. Well,
yeah, we'll see what happens. It all seems to surround data, access to data. And let me just go to this one before we move on to the other one. Reuters. World Health Organization urges manufacturers to provide COVID-19 vaccine data. Oh my goodness!
Oh, Gonz is having an emergency there. Let me read this a little bit.
Moly.
What is the what's the alert?
Missing endangered elderly.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
I thought it was going to be another tsunami thing.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean elderly? Are we talking about? Just an elderly old person, or are we talking about like zombies from the ancient?
No, they escaped from the old folks home.
They were bandits of old people.
It was Booster Day. It was Booster Day at the old folks home.
They waved the anti-vax flag and they walked out.
Yeah,
not today.
Had enough of this. I ain't getting the booster. And Grandpa ran out into the night.
Okay,
well,
go ahead.
I hope. I mean, that can be very serious. I don't need to joke about that. I hope they find who they need to find, unless it's better if they escape. I don't know. I don't know the situation. Okay. Yes. Who urges manufacturers to provide COVID-19 vaccine data? Huh.
Wait,
okay.
why is the WHO asking for data?
Weird.
I thought they already had
World Health
data.
Organization is asking for data. So did they not have data?
Okay. Well,
a World Health Organization committee urged COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers on Tuesday to provide it with the data it requires in order to list their shots for emergency use, saying the delays were affecting equitable vaccine access.
Data.
That is interesting. I did not know the World Health Organization had not yet approved the shots.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay. Yeah. All the questions.
Yeah, so many questions.
Yeah.
An emergency use listing with the UN agency means shots can be shipped to multiple developing nations that rely on WHO guidance for their regulatory decisions. It also allows them to be used by the COVAX vaccine sharing program that aims to ramp up vaccinations in poorer countries. Quote, committee recognizes the challenges posed by some manufacturers' delayed submissions of vaccine data to WHO. The emergency committee said in a statement, urging vaccine producers to supply the data as soon as possible. Good luck, World Health Organization. They'll release the data, but it'll take 75 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, have fun with that. The statement, the outcome of a closed-door meeting held last week, did not clarify which manufacturers had not yet submitted the data. A WHO document dated December 23rd listed the Sputnik V vaccine produced by the Gamaleya Institute as having submitted incomplete data. The emergency committee, made up of independent experts, meets every 3 months and makes policy recommendations on key issues relating to the coronavirus pandemic. Blah, blah, blah. It is also the body within the WHO that first declared COVID-19 a global health emergency.
There you go.
Or FIKE, Public Health Emergency of International Concern. In WHO jargon, nearly 2 years ago. Its members unanimously agreed last week to maintain the current state of emergency.
See, they're the ones that get to decide if we're in a pandemic or not.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
That's a lot of power.
Yeah, that's the committee. It's literally the committee that the entire world looked to, and they said, yes, it's on. It is a global concern. And they don't have any of the vaccine data. That's pretty strange.
Public Health Emergency of International Concern, FIKE.
I love how they threw in this Sputnik vaccine.
Yeah, just the Russians.
They're like, we're not going to tell you which vaccine manufacturer hasn't turned in their data, but we will say the Russians gave us incomplete data.
The Russians, but other than that.
So don't think about any of those other criminal organizations.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, we had a couple more COVID stuff, but I think that's a plenty for today.
That's a plenty. We got other stuff to talk about. Yeah. I will say before we move on, we should remind everybody to like and subscribe and turn on notifications.
Ooh.
Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Like, subscribe, bell button, all.
It's a good reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Party time.
Go to CanaryCry.Party, type it in your URL, hit enter, and it will take you to the Canary Cry Linktree, where all of the various links to our media empire exists. It's growing by the day. You can subscribe to our email list, join the street team, explore all the platforms where we currently live stream, connect with others on social media, join, become a producer, get a supply drop of stuff, and just all the things.
It's so many things, including the brand new link. I mentioned it in the pre-show and realized I didn't say it in the introduction. CanaryCry.Bingo.com is live, folks. Head on over to CanaryCry.Bingo.com. You can also find that link on CanaryCry.Party. But at CanaryCryBingo.com, you can find all of the Canary Cry Bingo cards. There's the 2021 card, there's the new 2022 Bingo card, and there's the 5x5 2022 DIY Bingo card. And I want to encourage people out there to go to CanaryCryBingo.com, download the 2022 card, play along at home as the show happens. For those of you who really make an event with the family or with the spouse, have this card printed out, keep it next to your couch or wherever you watch the show, and cross out the things as they happen this year. Because if we're gonna live through the fall of civilization, we might as well make it fun. But also want to encourage all y'all creative people. There is the blank DIY bingo card. Go print that out, fill it in with your own predictions, and then send it back into us. We'll put it on the website, and other people can play your card as well.
And it's a 5x5 too, so a little easier than
it's
the
a normal
7x7.
card.
Yeah, that is the 2022 prediction.
I think I was looking at Miss G Beauty's 7x7 card, though, and it's pretty well balanced. It's a 7x7, which is more than usual for a bingo card, but the things are more realistic. Like we could actually get bingo on 2022. But if you want to go make your own, please do. I can't wait to see some of what you guys come up with. I highly recommend it. Go to CanaryCryBingo.com. Okay. Let's take a quick break.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
Whee! Producer Marty B is asking, do you want a longer version of the Canary Cry Party jingle, Gonz? Kind of sounds like you could use it, or you got to tighten up the pitch.
I can probably tighten up the pitch. I did stumble a little bit today.
Okay. We're good. Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, give me a few more times.
If we get in the habit of lengthening these things, we're just going to get ourselves in trouble.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely reach out and ask if Gonz is unable to tighten up the pitch. But it's time for a little break, folks. But don't go anywhere, because first of all, if you've never stuck around for a break, you're missing out on a lot of great content. Stuff happens in the break that you should stick around for. But stick around anyways, because after the break, we got the politics section. We're going to be checking in on the Supreme Court. We're doing it. It's finally time, Gonz. We're bringing back the 5G section. Yes, 5G was a big deal. 2020, a lot of news came out, kind of disappeared for a while, and then some actual things are happening in the world of 5G. That is being reported on in the mainstream. So we've got mainstream problems with 5G, which I can't wait to explore. But before that, we want to take a second and thank some producers. That's right. I said producers. No advertisements, no affiliate codes, no pills, no merch, no paywalls, no premium memberships, folks. That's right. We are simply on the value for value model. And the value for value model is simple. We create value. We do it 3 times a week or more. And if you get any value out of what we do here on the show or anywhere on the internet, you have the opportunity or the responsibility to put some value back in. It keeps the big wheel turning, folks. And you might be thinking, well, I can get all sorts of podcasts for free and videos and things like that. Why would I send these guys money? Well, you can get this for free too. Nobody has to become a producer. Let me start out with that. Whoa.
What was that?
You hear that?
I did. What was that?
It's my doorbell.
Oh, wow.
Somebody's
at the door.
Somebody's coming for money.
Uh-oh. They found you.
Yeah. If you hear a window break, then you'll know that I've loved you all, and I will just be spending some time at Gitmo for a while. Please, somebody tell my lawyer. Where was I? Yes, the value for value model. If you get value out of the show, the only way that this show continues is with the participation of its producers. That's right, producers, because those who produce the show are producers. And they can produce in all sorts of ways with their time, their talent, and their treasure. We're going to thank some financial producers during this break, but the family of producers is far and wide across the world and doing all sorts of different things to keep the show going. But the reason we're on the value for value model is because we decided long ago that advertisements and the advertising industry is a sinister industry, much like many other sinister industries that are primarily focused on monetizing the consciousness, the trust, and the attention of listeners like you. Indeed, in this golden age of online media, it's easier than ever to get people to pay you to advertise services and products on your podcast. But why participate in an industry that thinks of human beings as a number, as a commodity to be gathered up in mass quantity and packaged and have their very psychology sold off over and over again to corporations around the world who are seeking that data, that sweet, sweet data, in order to subtly manipulate our psychology into spending money that we do not need nor want to spend on things that we do not need nor want. We are convinced part of the subtle seditiousness of the advertising industry is that it spends literally billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, to try to convince you that you are not happy or fulfilled, or that you cannot be happy or fulfilled in this life without spending some money on the next product, the next thing that will bring your life that much closer to having meaning. And we just don't want to participate. It's not cool. It's not good for people. It's not good for us. Instead, we're on the value for value model. So if you value the show, if you value the value for value model, come participate. Become a producer in all sorts of ways. And it's the only way that we can keep this show going. So that's why we thank our producers now, Gonz. And there's a couple of ways that you can produce the show financially. There's patreon.com/CCNT, or there's CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. That's right, CanaryCry.Radio.com/support. Go there, check it out. All sorts of fun stuff going on there. If you're a cryptocurrency person, you got our public wallets available there. If you're someone who wants to commit to keeping the show going, you can support the show on a monthly basis. Just sign up, set it and forget it. And you can feel good and rest assured that you are supporting your favorite podcast and not even having to think about it. But if commitment is not your thing, you can become a one-time producer in any amount that you like. Think of the options. You can make up literally any number. You ever heard of $12.12? That's a number. Have you ever heard of $139? That's another number. Those are just two of the almost endless options that you can choose to support the show with. And we want to thank some of those producers now, Gonz. Who are we thanking today?
We are going to start off with thanking the executive producers, plural, of episode number 435. And the first person to thank is producer Maria.
Maria, thank you very much for executive producing this episode of Canary Cry News Talk.
And she actually sent a note with a check, actually a physical note.
Some snail mail.
Yes, and she did ask not for to be read on air, this note, but it did come with googly eyes, actual physical googly eyes in the note, so I appreciate that. And very, very kind note, and a
nice executive producership. We will say, Maria, send us an email.
Yes.
Let's get in contact. We've got some things to talk about.
Yeah. Certain things that need to take place for Maria over here. But she is today's executive producer.
Where'd you find this?
Whee! Thank you very much, Maria.
And, you know, there are people that come to Christ and then they listen to the show. It's kind of a way to stay attached. I think it's really interesting if you are a new believer and you're kind of listening to the show and tapping into the kind of worldview that we're sharing. it must be very interesting if you're a new believer to just jump right into the
more
stuff.
Exciting than Sunday morning. Tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you that.
Okay,
Fill
who's
in the
next?
gaps. Next up, Sir Aaron Knight of the Cute Little Piggies.
That's right. Thank you very much, Sir Aaron Knight of the Cute Little Piggies. Now, are we giving Sir Aaron an executive producership or an associate executive producership here?
I thought it was just executive, but I mean,
okay.
You can downgrade him on air live.
Well, I didn't know about Maria, so.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
We'll give it to him. We'll get this.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you very much, Sir Aaron Knight of the Cute Little Piggies, our Canary Cry esports athlete, coming in with his current Fortnite level, $122. Thank you very much, Sir Aaron. And send a note here. Sorry, Gonz, I think I put you off with my last request. Many blessings.
What was the last request? I don't remember.
I think it was. I think he had like a number of jingles that he wanted.
Oh, and I didn't have them ready.
And that wasn't your fault.
That's not your
Sir
fault.
Aaron.
No, this is not. If I get upset, it's at myself. It's not at you. This is
Daddy's mad.
This is something I dealt with in life. You know, I don't get mad at other people. I'm just very disappointed in myself.
We do feel like you are mad at us sometimes.
Well,
but yes, I can tell you,
if it comes
Sir Aaron,
off as that, it's because I'm mad at myself. Yeah. Sorry. Apologies, Sir Aaron Knight of the Cute Little Piggies.
It was the Satan Health officials.
Yes.
3 times in a row.
I did find that eventually. But
that was a Gonz problem. Thank you very much, Sir Aaron. We appreciate that and your continued support and your executive producership of the show. Keep on poning noobs. I don't think Gen Z says that. I think that was a millennial gamer thing.
Yeah, poning doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. I think that's our generation.
That was like some internet 1.0.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh gosh, I need some Gen Z gamers to help me with the lingo here.
Alpha, it's alpha, man. You got alphas. It's all about finding the alpha.
Okay,
Sir Aaron Knight of the Cute Little Piggies. Here you go.
Satan federal health officials.
There you go. Just because I have it on hand from last time.
Just for fun. He deserves it. Thank you, Sir Aaron. Okay, next I want to thank some Canary Cry supply drop producers coming in.
Oh,
yeah.
Supply drop.
I think you're supposed to talk right here.
Is this the long version you're doing?
No.
Okay. Canary Cry Supply Drop is our cool new producer thank you campaign for the year of 2022, which is going very well. I'm pretty much on the daily working with producers to put together our Q1 supply drop going out in March, folks. Very excited. We think you guys are going to love it. But for those who have never heard of it, the Canary Cry Supply Drop is our thank you campaign for producers who sign up to produce the show in the amount of $33 or more every month. And as a free gift in return, we are putting together quarterly shipments of Canary Cry News Talk, Canary Cry Radio items, cool things, all sorts of things. Things like apparel and stickers and buttons and swag of different kinds, featuring art from the show, featuring designs, inside jokes, all sorts of fun stuff that we think our producers are going to love. And you know what? You want to produce the show anyways. You want to keep the show going. So why not sign up for $33 a month, and we'll start sending you some free gifts for your producerships. And here are some people who did that.
All right.
A little bit lower of a count today, Gonz. But that's okay. Every new producer counts. Because that's more cool stuff getting out into the world. I'm more sort of delighted by the idea that just mass packages of crazy Canary Cry craziness will be shipped out into the world and bring some joy to our producers. And we came up with an idea, and I'm going to say it out loud because it'll remind me to work towards this.
Okay.
have not discussed it with the producers helping us put this together yet. So I'm
dropping a bomb right in their head there.
Yes, this idea might get shot down by some higher level producers than I.
Ooh,
I'm not the boss around here.
Yeah, who's the controller of this whole
I
operation?
ain't the boss around here. I'm like the owner's son who somehow gets to run around and cause trouble in the office and has crazy ideas that other people have to respond to. But you gave me this fun idea, which is we could do like an ARG with the supply drop, where every supply drop has some sort of clue in it. And I don't know if it would be like a scavenger hunt or some sort of mystery or game of some kind. But I think it would be really cool to start working in some clues into the items that we send out and have some sort of, worldwide ARG secret mission game going on with the dropship producer. So that's going to be my next thing I'm working on. But here are a couple more supply drop producers, starting with Lavanya coming in as a supply drop producer. 3333.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lavanya. Next up, we have Sanford S.
Thank you, Sanford.
And we actually had a correction. Last episode, I listed Lady Oyster, Lady Pearl of the Oyster, Dame of the Oyster, as a supply drop. Turns out we have more than one Gretchen who listens to the show. So that was my mistake, Lady Pearl. Sorry about that. But indeed, it is Gretchen G, who is a supply drop producer.
Thank you very much.
Much Gretchen G. Okay, that concludes all of our new supply drop producers. So there you go. And I do want to remind everybody there is a cutoff date for this first quarter's shipment. So you're going to want to sign up as soon as possible. And we're hoping to get at least 100 people to sign up by February 28th. Because if we can get 100 people to sign up, not only does that help the show continue, but it also will allow us to make cooler and sort of higher value items, because we can officially purchase in bulk once 100 people sign up. So there you go.
The more people that sign up, is that the more elaborate?
Yes, the more people sign up. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me, Gonz. This is what I've now termed the value for value system. Third value. If you get value, if you get value from the show, produce the show, become a supply drop producer, then you'll get more value in the shape of cool swag and items and perhaps a mystery to solve. But then that creates more value, because if we get 100 people, that means we can make cooler, more elaborate, more expensive items to send out to the supply drop producer. So not only are we counting on your support, but the other supply drop producers are counting on your support too. Go sign up soon. Thank you very much. CanaryCry.Supply.com. Waiting for supply drop. Whee! And that was a new jingle from Marty B, who we'll thank in the next break.
Yep. Okay, moving on with the other producers who came in with their treasure here. We're going to start things off with Christian D.
Christian D comes in, supports the show for 3333 Illuminatus. Illuminatus! Sends a note here. Everyone should check out Days of Noah. He has been talking about the technocrats and the Fourth Industrial Revolution for some time now. Good stuff. Thank you, Gonz and Basil. Okay, little advertisement for Days of Noah there. Go check them out.
Days of Noah with a Z, DAYZ of Noah. Yep.
Thank you, Christian D. Somebody go give money to Days of Noah so he will talk about our show on his show.
Yeah, there you go.
Go now.
Value for value for value for value.
Yeah, make sure he reads notes, though. Thank you very much, Christian D. And yes, people should go check out Days of Noah.
Yep.
Next up, who do we got, Gonz?
Jeff B.
Jeff B. coming in with a nice, solid, round number. Appreciate it, Jeff. And he sends a note that says, "My name is Jeff." And in parentheses, he says, Jeff. That's because his name is spelled
Geoff.
I've always called this the Canadian way. Because I grew up knowing the father of one of my friends in my friend group was named Jeff, but spelled it Geoff.
Right.
And so I'm very familiar with this, but it makes me think of sort of a grumpy-looking, mustached Canadian man. But thank you, Jeff. He continues. You guys are a major blessing. Been listening to you forever. Please demooch me. There you go, Jeff. You are officially demooched, becoming a producer after forever, he says.
Forever. That's a long time.
Folks? You may feel like perhaps you're a mooch out there. We would never call you that. Perhaps you feel like a mooch.
This guy will.
Mooch! Because he's been, in his own words, listening forever.
Yeah.
And this is the first time he's produced the show, but we are, kind of like there's a party in heaven whenever a new believer gets saved.
Yes, I heard that one when I was
Doesn't
baptized.
matter how small or whatever. Same thing here. There's always a party when any producer gets demooched. And thank you very much, Jeff. He continues, LOL, and Gonz, please sneak back on Twitter like Spyro did.
Spiro.
They have you locked out pretty hard. They got your IP locked down.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, in theory, I could probably do something to sneak back on. It's just a matter of effort at this point. I'm curious what Spiro did to get back on. I mean, theoretically, I can delete the tweet that is in question, and I can.
Yeah, it's a matter of principle at this moment.
I know. At this point, we're standoff on the principle.
It's like being unvaccinated. It's like Djokovic and being unvaccinated. He could get vaccinated, and his life would be so easy. But then he'd be complying and bending the knee against his principles. You could be back on Twitter if you bend the knee and delete the offensive tweet.
The offensive tweet that's not offensive whatsoever.
That other people have tweeted, and you were just sort of picked out for no reason. But it's a principle thing at this point.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff B.
Thank you, Geoff.
Geoff. That we used to say that we had a coach named Jeff, spelled that way. We just all went Geoff.
I know. Geoff. I hope he knows. I hope he's not bothered by that.
He's probably dealt with it his whole life.
I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
But some people, and I'm not saying Jeff is this way. Some people get really offended if you say their name wrong.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
no.
Jeff.
But,
I always knew it was Jeff, but I had to learn kind of the hard way.
But if you like Geoff, I'd love to call you Geoff.
Geoff.
Thanks,
okay.
Jeff.
Next up, Sarah L.
Sarah L. comes in with $10.27. I did not see a note or anything. Thank you very much, Sarah L. I do not believe
it's the first time for Sarah L.
I don't. No. Sarah L. is one of our supply droppers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me just make sure she's not on a streak.
I was going to say.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Next up, we have Palmer B.
Wee, Palmer B. Thank you very much. Palmer B is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
13 episodes in a row. Comes in with 1111 plus fees and a note.
11.
But he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Job 23:10. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Palmer B.
Thank you, Palmer B. Next up, we have Morv.
Morv is on a streak. 44 episodes in a row and 1111. Thank you very much, Morv.
Thank you, Morv.
Did not see a note.
No note. Next up, we have Heather Sir Russ.
Heather Sir Russ is back. They've been married for 1 year and 2 days at this point. And Heather Sir Russ is on a streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
48 episodes in a row, coming in with the 1001.
Oh, hold on. Yes.
1001. Amen.
Amen. And there's a note here. Gonz, you know what day it is and you know what's coming. So just prepare that little trigger finger of yours. And the note reads like this. Happy Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
that one close. The note continues, you guys had us cracking up last episode. Gonz's romantic jingle mix and Basil's idea of what my wife sounds like. Oh, yeah. I'm Heather. I love Russ. Awesome. We can't thank you enough for all that you do. Can we get another Gonzo freestyle? Much love. Heather Russ, East Side.
Out in the forest.
What was
down
that?
by the river. Where? Down by the river. Geoengineering.
Soylent Green is made out of people.
Soylent Green is people!
Wow, that really was a fix. That was a whole journey. Thank you very much, Heather Russ.
Thank you, Heather Russ. Appreciate always the inspiration to really dig into the soundboard there. Next up, we have JC.
JC's on a streak with a new streak jingle upgrade.
Oh, perfect. Oh, no.
Flippy update.
No, that's not the... No. Okay, I'm on a faster hard drive. It's still pretty slow. There we go. JC. And yes, he is 60 episodes in a row.
You did it. You made it to 60 episodes in a row, JC. Thank you very much. And JC comes in with the 1001.
1001. Amen.
And a note that says TGI WMD, which Gonz, I don't know if you caught this or not. That means, thank God, it's Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely tired. Can I get a called it? Very excited for the meetups happening this Saturday in honor of Gonz's birthday.
Called it.
I, too, am extremely tired, JC. So,
I think we're all tired.
Have this in time, just in time for the meetup. What meetup is...
There's two of them happening this Saturday.
On your birthday?
Yes.
Well, yeah, and Friday is your birthday episode.
Oh, yay.
Whee! 3939 is the Gonz Happy Birthday producership, or some version of that. Thank you very much, JC.
Thank you, JC. Next up, we have Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Whee! There he is, and of course, he's on a streak.
Yes, I pressed the button. Why is it not working?
I think maybe you still have that connected to the old hard drive.
Nope.
I would have to do some cyber forensics to make sure that you have it linked correctly.
It is linked correctly here. Okay, hold on. What's going on? All right, well, here it is.
Thank you so much.
It's like the jingling around. Very good. Thank you, Sir Casey, supporting the show for 107 episodes in a row.
Wow.
Comes in with a pocket full of sevens and a note that simply reads, it's Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Whee!
I'm worried the producers are going to try to break some kind of record with that every Wednesday. We're going to have to play it like 8 times and then 9 times.
Oh, this is the first episode in a long time we're playing it every single time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, it happens every Wednesday. Yeah. And it's just is what it is.
It is what
and
it is.
It's a delight.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. The Canary Cry culture is out of our hands now, Gonz.
we do not.
We are simply facilitators at this point.
Yeah, true. All right. Thank you very much, Sir Casey, the Shield Knight. Next up, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth.
Whee! Of course, he's on a streak. 97 episodes in a row. Thank you, Sir Scott, for that pocket full of sevens.
Yep. Next up, Sir Salmon's Knight of the Fishes.
And you know that Sir Salmon's is on a streak. 16 episodes in a row. Sir Salmon's Knight of the Fishes coming in with a pocket full of sevens and a note. Gonz, hit that Wednesday jingle.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Hope y'all's week has been good so far. I cannot express my sadness at hearing that Gonz has never had a real snow day. Sounds like he needs to experience a second childhood. LOL. Many blessings from the fishes. Thank you, Sir Salmons.
Thank you, Sir Salmons.
Don't worry about Gonz's snow day.
I'm fine.
Black, he's fine. And when the bombs drop, it'll be perpetual winter, and every day will be a snow day.
Yeah, we're entering the new ice age, right?
That's what we've been told.
Yep.
Global warming is bringing us into the new ice age.
Exactly as predicted in the
Science.
computer model. AI.
Don't question the data in the made-up computer model that we made.
Thank you very much, Sir Salmon's Night of the Fishes. Next up, we have Runk Smash.
Runk Smash is on a streak. Coming in with 46.99 Dogecoin.
Is this a crypto? Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
Came out to be about 777. And a note here. And it says, I sent a bigger pile of Doji coins because I must apologize to you and my fellow listeners / producers. In the last installment, hairstyle should have been hasty, but I didn't catch the autocorrect. So now it's going to get a little stranger. Also, I'm going to have to break my streak because I like the low number jingles. Okay. I don't know what that has to do with breaking. Oh, he's breaking his streak so he can listen to the... What is his next streak? He's at 58 right now. Thank you very much.
60 is the next one.
Is it? I don't think it is.
Oh.
Well, 60, you switch to the Lil Jon streak jingle.
Right. Oh, I guess it's 77. Perfection.
Our list of things is on a different page.
No, it's not. Scroll down.
It's down? Okay. Yeah. I was going up. Yes. Well, that is correct, Runk Smash. You are in the phase of
no man's land
streaking that the jingles get further apart from one another. So we understand if you want to restart your streak, nothing wrong with that. In fact, you just let us know. I'll start you anywhere below where you are.
And don't worry about the little typo with the autocorrect. It only adds to the lore of the microfictions in that AI contributed to the storyline.
Oh, so technically AI is a co-author of the microfiction with Runk Smash.
Make room, Runk Smash. You're going to get AI mad at you. Get a knock on the door.
Oh my gosh. You know what I just realized? We could feed all of Runk Smash's microfiction into an AI.
Yes, we can feed anything into an AI, technically.
It almost feels like he's already done that. But thank you very much, Runk Smash. And if you're new to the show, we are referring to the microfiction that Runk Smash creates for every single episode. You'll hear it in the next break. And that concludes our financial producers that came in the amount of 777 or above, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. But stuff coming in under that, we still love to thank the producers. And those producers are, starting off with Child of God, who's on a 40-episode streak.
Thank you, Child of God. Congratulations on the streak. 42 is around the corner there.
42 is just around the corner, Child of God. He comes in with threes and fees. Next up, we've got Dr. Who Done Dat, who's on a 44-episode streak.
Oops, here we go.
Also threes and fees from him.
Thank you, Dr. Who Done Dat.
I'm trying to go fast here. Are you typing?
No, go ahead.
Okay. The next producers I'm going to do as a team because they are the Streak Sisters, Veronica D and Gail M, both on a 73-episode streak. Thank you for the... Oh my gosh. Thank you for the threes and fees, Gail M. Last but not least, we've got Amanda
Gail
B.
M and Veronica D.
Yeah, but Veronica D does not have a readable amount.
Okay.
So I said thanks for the threes and fees, Gail M.
Perfect. Okay.
Last but not least, thank you to Amanda P for her 31-episode streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule!
Threes and fees. Amen. Okay, I think that is all for this break. So I will just finish up with, remember to head over to CanaryCryBingo.com. Make sure to check out CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. Sign up soon. One other thing about this Canary Cry Supply Drop I forgot to mention was that these first quarter signups, if you sign up before February 28th, you will also get the Canary Cry calendar as a free gift. So if you missed out on the calendar, I know some people were, they missed out and they were sad. But if you sign up for the supply drop, the calendar is included as a free gift in your first quarter. So go check it out, Canary Cry Supply Drop. And to all of our financial producers, thank you for our patronage.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patronage.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
It's Latin for many. Tick. Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your blood.
CNBC.com. Supreme Court's Gorsuch refused to wear mask despite requests over Sotomayor's COVID concerns, report says.
Oh my gosh.
So interesting.
Wow.
It says here, Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch has refused to wear a mask during in-person proceedings despite a request from Chief Justice John Roberts for all members of the High Court to accommodate Justice Sonia Sotomayor's concern about COVID-19, according to a new report Tuesday. Gorsuch's continued defiance has led Sotomayor, who has diabetes and is therefore at a high risk of serious illness from COVID, to attend oral arguments remotely, according to veteran NPR Supreme Court reporter Nina Totenberg, citing court sources. When the justices returned to the courtroom last fall to hear arguments in person, Sotomayor was the only one to wear a mask. With the surge of the highly transmissible Omicron,
it's called the Omicron
variant in the winter, however, Sotomayor felt unsafe sitting next to unmasked people, according to NPR. You know what? It's turned this whole thing. Let me keep going. Roberts, quote, in some form, then asked the other justices to wear masks, Totenberg reported. Gorsuch, one of the three justices nominated by former President Donald Trump, was the only one to refuse. What a bad person. The court did not immediately respond to CNBC's request for comments on NPR's report. All 9 justices have been vaccinated and received boosters for COVID. Gorsuch sits next to Sotomayor on the bench. He's also refused to wear a mask during the justices' weekly conferences, leading the 67-year-old Sotomayor to attend by telephone, NPR reported. Last week, Gorsuch was the only justice in the court not to wear a mask during oral arguments, while Sotomayor and Justice Stephen Breyer both appeared remotely. Breyer, at 83, the oldest member of the court, stayed out of the courtroom after a spokesperson said he received the results of a COVID test that were later determined to be a false positive. Sotomayor, one of 3 liberals on the 9-seat bench, reportedly participated remotely on Tuesday morning when the court was set to hear oral arguments in 2 cases. And then it goes into the case here. Is it just me, or is it like this is like the woke social justice model just for elderly people afraid of COVID?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but sort of from a different angle.
Okay.
Because we've talked about how over and over and over the mainstream just insists that the Supreme Court should not be a politicized organization. It's nonpartisan and da-da-da-da-da. And yet they continually refer to the conservative and the liberal judges, and sometimes even refer to their political party to which they
affiliate,
to which they belong
appeal
to
or affiliated with, or just belong to.
And then on top of that, because this mirrors this idea that the Supreme Court is apolitical, mirrors the conversation about masks being quote unquote apolitical.
Right. Clearly.
And yet the media is the one that consistently makes it political.
I know.
And so what it feels like to me is it's like a kayfabe being created. wrestling term for the fiction of the industry,
Right.
We've talked about it in the past. This kayfabe kind of rears its head in many different forms, usually stemming from the media. But it's kind of a Supreme Court kayfabe, where we're like suddenly supposed to be so interested in how individuals in the Supreme Court have drama with one another. And, what is the news value of this story, CNBC? Now, of course, CNBC, which has repeatedly shown itself over and over the years, but especially in the past few episodes, to literally be reporting on nothing as if it is the most important thing that could be reported. And this is one of them, which is like they're inventing this reality show kayfabe drama within the Supreme Court. And I believe it's to undermine, the trust in the Supreme Court, or the appeal to its authority, or the legitimacy of its, whatever established order of the thing. And why would CNBC want to do that? Well, the repeated talks of Democrats packing the court has been coming up recently again, alongside with the filibuster issues. So the Democrats are tired of losing in the Supreme Court, so they're all trying to get Biden to pack it with liberal appointees, which would then tip the scales, make it a Democrat or a liberal Supreme Court. And how can you get some public support to do that? Create some fake drama that makes the court seem like a Trump versus science show. Because that's really what this is. You've got a Trump appointed Supreme Court justice and a generally considered like very liberal sort of social justice icon who will die if this Trumpian doesn't wear a mask. And this is the microcosm happening in the Supreme Court that represents what's happening to our country, that kind of thing. I think that there's a broader narrative being created here that will come back around when it's time to start fiddling with the Supreme Court.
Well, let's go to Washington Post real quick, because Washington Post reported headline, Sotomayor says she did not ask Gorsuch to wear a mask on the Supreme Court bench.
Exactly. I mean, that exactly is the point. You have CNBC creating news out of absolutely nothing. And why would they do that? They would do that for some sort of narrative crafting. I mean, it's CNBC. They are one of the closer tied propaganda outlets.
Well, and are we really going to say WAPO is trying to bring clarity to the issue here?
What did you say? That was the Washington Post?
This is the Washington Post who came out and said, yeah, that's Sotomayor. And here's the report.
Yeah, well, who knows? Well, again, Washington Post is Jeff Bezos, who is not an activist. He's not a progressive activist. He's a Democrat because that's the popular thing to be in the corporate world right now. But, he's a billionaire. He's not an activist. So, I think he has all sorts of other things going on. And he certainly is not, on the same page as CNBC.
Yeah. The article is just, kind of more of the same. Just the only update being that Justice Sonia Sotomayor said in a statement Wednesday that she did not ask Justice Neil M. Gorsuch to wear a mask, but she also did not give her reasons for participating in oral arguments remotely from her chambers instead of on the bench. And maybe her
that goes back to the
is
drama. I mean, her whole drama has been going on for a week now.
Yeah.
Because she was doing it she was doing it remotely, and everybody thought, oh, she's sick. And she said, I'm not sick. I'm just not going in. Now, the idea that, Sotomayor did not personally ask Gorsuch to wear a mask is different, is the same, or is not different, rather, from the CNBC article, because the CNBC article never said that she asked him.
The article actually says,
Roberts.
Yeah, John Roberts was the one that made a big deal about it.
Yeah,
so John Roberts is using Sotomayor as political fodder.
Something, who knows? But anywho, it's just it's a narrative crafting exercise, and it's a nothing story. But the reason we bring it to the show is because a storm is a brewing with the with the social justice people as well, but with the Supreme Court. There's a lot of drama being built around them, and when that happens, you know that it's laying the foundation for somebody to make a case for something.
Yeah, it's like the Eye of Sauron has moved on to the Supreme Court. It is sort of the one thing that's keeping any kind of constitutional resemblance of a constitutional republic in the U.S. alive. So I can see
some phase of the master plan has to do with the Supreme Court.
Yeah, being compromised in some way.
You got to start getting it. What this is. And this is the cycle that's repeated over and over, which is if there's something that's going to have a big shift, or they're trying to make a big shift in something, you start for a few months, maybe even a year sometimes. You just start putting out nothing burger stories about it.
Yeah.
Just to get it into the public consciousness, just to get it on people's minds, just to get people thinking about Sotomayor, who, would never think about her or whatever.
True. Nobody would talk about probably
her
any of the Supreme Court. Yeah, her diabetes.
Nobody's talking about Sotomayor's diabetes. But you start putting in these little things in the news, get it into the public consciousness, and then that sort of primes the pump or whatever you're trying to do later on. So I think we should keep an eye out in the next 6 months to a year for some pretty significant news with the Supreme Court.
Yeah, agree with you there. All right, well, let's go into some 5G.
5G kills humans.
5G kills humans. CNBC again. Headline here. After years of 5G hype and investment, Wednesday's network launch makes it real. It's here, Basil. 5G officially. Verizon and AT&T turned on a major new part of their 5G network Wednesday. That's today. The culmination of a years-long process that saw both carriers invest billions in spectrum and equipment to upgrade their networks. The network that lit up on Wednesday are using wavelengths called C-band to cover a large part of the country with wireless services that should be noticeably faster than current 4G services. Verizon says 90 million people will get access to the new 5G services this month in major cities, including New York, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. AT&T said it plans to cover as many as 75 million people with its C-band network by the end of the year. The rollout brings to fruition major 5G investments from both carriers. Verizon spent $45.5 billion in a government auction last year to secure the rights to the wavelengths it's using for its network. AT&T spent more than $23 billion. The carriers have since spent additional billions to actually build the networks and install equipment on cell towers. Quote, we've invested just to get the spectrum some $40 odd billion. And then we've also had to kick money into the kitty to help clear the spectrum. So we're looking upward of $53 billion. Verizon CTO Kyle Malady told CNBC. Verizon will spend $10 billion over the next 3 years to continue building its network, it said. The Goldilocks band, some forms of 5G were already available to wireless subscribers, blah, blah, blah. We know about some of that. But yeah, the C-band network is higher in frequency, it appears. The wavelengths are between 3.7 and 3.98 gigahertz that are capable of both traveling long distances and carrying enough data to deliver faster internet connection. The unique properties of these wavelengths led to their substantial price at auction, and they were often called the Goldilocks band in the industry because they are perfectly suited for 5G services. Quote, it's excellent right down the middle. You have a great amount of bandwidth. It propagates well, and it goes through buildings. It goes through buildings, Malady said. Quote, I give credit to the U.S. government. They put a lot of spectrum up for auction. This rarely comes along, and that's why we were so aggressive in the auction to get this. The C-band networks were supposed to be turned on in December, but the rollout was delayed twice because of Federal Aviation Administration concerns that their wavelengths could interfere with tools pilots use to land safely. And that brings me to the second part of this story here, which is Newsweek, mirrored on MSN. What are the issues with the 5G rollout that airlines are concerned about? There's a few other outlets talking about how airlines canceled or suspended flights because of this rollout.
The airlines are scared of this, man.
Crazy.
We haven't been talking about it. We are kind of waiting for it to evolve a little bit, but this started a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where something like only 40% of planes are equipped to fly with if 5G is used widely. And it's like you could take out, with all the problems that the airlines have been having, only 40% of the planes are equipped to exist in a 5G world. Not just exist, not just thrive. They can't fly if 5G is being
ridiculous.
Used.
Yeah. Why are airlines worried? The worry is that the airplanes' radio altimeters will be disrupted by 5G frequencies. Am I saying that right? Altimeters. I feel okay. Altimeters are important devices for aircraft, giving readings of the height above the ground during a flight's approach. This is an especially important measurement during poor visibility and for aircraft flying at low altitudes. Officials are concerned that 5G with too close of proximity could affect altimeters' range. Altimeters use a range of 4.2 to 4.4 gigahertz, and if that's interrupted, the instruments' measurements could be affected. Monday's letter from the major airlines warned, quote, "This means that on a day like yesterday, more than 1,100 flights and 100,000 passengers would be subjected to cancellations, diversions, or delays."
Wow.
Who's in charge of the frequencies? It's the U.S. and Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, is in charge of the large radio spectrum. The agency allowed significant amounts of the spectrum for 5G use in 2016. And I think a lot of people in our community were reporting on that back in 2016. Wasn't there, now that I think about it, I can't remember who it was. Was it French president or the WHO president or somebody years ago? I think they might have, maybe it was part of the FCC. Like the former commissioner or something came out and said, like, we're going full on 5G. There's nothing stopping us. It was like a really intense.
No, this was during the big 5G push of 2020, I believe.
Was it 20? I think it was before that. It was during Trump, because I remember the guy, I reported on this on Facelikethesun.
Well, 2020 was Trump.
You're right, but I think it was before that, because I remember publishing on Facelikethesun, a guy, he had like the 5G box. He was presenting it to Trump, and Trump was all about it, all about helping build the infrastructure and stuff. So interesting.
I remember talking about that on our new format. So I believe this was in 2020, early 2020, something like that.
Could have been. And just as a tie-in here, since this is AT&T and Verizon, I do have the CEO of Verizon, Chairman CEO, Hans Vestberg, talking at Davos about communication and equity.
We need to use the 21st century's infrastructure, which is mobility, broadband, and cloud services, in order to get it accessible, affordable, and have the right application and scalability. That's why we, together with the World Economic Forum, decided in the beginning of last year to form the Edison Alliance. The Edison Alliance is a group of some 45 multidisciplined people, champions we call them, from private, public, education, from academia. And what we decided was we wanted to change the life of 1 billion people by having affordable, accessible digital inclusion, focusing on education, healthcare, and financial inclusion. Firstly, we have had great progress so far with all the people coming together from all the academia, public and private, to find these solutions. But once again, for me, this is a moment in time where this infrastructure is so crucial. It's not a good to have to be connected. It's actually a human right.
It's a human right to be connected on the internet.
So they're making 5G a human rights issue.
Well, not specifically 5G. This is well, you're right, indirectly, yes.
I think so. I mean, that would be part of the sales pitch. If you have your Canary Cry bingo card ready here, let's see here on the G Beauty card, Monty making an appearance on the show. Monty 4 has invaded the show as we speak. And so you can cross that off on your 2022 bingo card.
We should have a way to do this on the website.
Second row, sixth column.
I was going to say, we need to have a way to keep updated on.
Somebody could like code a little thing, but yeah, we can do it. You know, if we do our own photoshopping and just upload the image.
Yeah. So there you go. That's kind of the 5G thing. And yeah, I mean, you know, I still get people sending me articles, from the fringes or blogs about 5G and how the virus was spread through 5G.
Yeah, it's gonna activate the nanobots and do the whole thing.
Yeah, and so we'll see how all that works. I mean, eventually, I think with a lot of those sorts of theories, is that of course the elite that's what they would like. They would like to be able to control every molecule in the universe. You know, and that to get there is some kind of molecular control through perhaps an internet connection. But the other thing to consider is that how is Neuralink and OneWeb, which is another company trying to get satellites to get connectivity everywhere, are they? Do you think they've already, you know, they're ahead of the curve in terms of 5G? Are they able to compete, or are they? Is it a whole different network?
Yeah, they can't use 5G because 5G is a short range
bandwidth. Yeah,
it's a short range wave. So you need a tower like, I forget what the exact number is. It's something like every 150 feet or something.
Right. That's why the 5G has those pods instead of a big old just one giant tower.
So you put these little nodes, you just litter them across a city or something. Where that wouldn't work with the satellite, as far as I know, but I'm no evil genius like Elon.
What happened to our chat? Oh, there it is. Okay. There you go. That's all we had for this segment, Basil. It's pretty short and sweet.
Yeah, pretty short and sweet. Again, we have got to starting the show earlier. These late shows are really difficult because then it puts pressure to keep the show short. So that's why our second segment is a little short here. I was reading this other article that I have pulled up here from thepointsguy.com, let's see here. What is this called? What you need to know about 5G interfering with aircraft. And I was trying to see if there's anything else besides just the altimeter reading and things like that. But yeah, more or less, he says, 5G came out today, everybody would crash and die. So
great.
My question is, why have they not been working on this for years?
This is the Y2K thing. We lived through Y2K. I don't know, but you probably young. But you remember Y2K, right?
I remember very well Y2K.
It's going to be the new year, the new millennium. All the computers are going to crash. Airplanes are going to fall out of the sky. It's one big apocalypse. It kind of feels like that with the 5G rollout. And yeah, why weren't they being ready? Why weren't they ready? Or
they've been talking about, like you said, with the guy, I forget who it was too, who came out and said, we don't care what you say. We don't care who you are.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything.
Man, I wish I could find that clip.
Rolling out 5G, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And you're going to like it. It's good for you. Stop complaining. And why have the airlines not been figuring it out? His name's Tom Wheeler.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the clip here. I don't know if let's see if this works.
Well, here's an interesting little angle as well, which is, hey, 5G or planes, you choose. You want 5G or you want 60% less aircraft? Do you want to travel 60% less? Well, less planes mean less carbon emissions, which means we save the world. More internet means faster connection with the metaverse. You don't need to travel. Stay in your pod. Don't go on vacation. get your 5G, Oculus attachment. And there you go. Now it's one step closer to the, getting trapped in the cage. Pods, metaverse pods, and feeding tubes.
So this Tom Wheeler clip from the FCC about 5G is from June 20th, 2016.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. I was way off.
That are both a limitation and a strength. They tend to travel best in narrow and straight lines.
I remember some of this. I'm trying to find the
requiring
spot.
massive deployment of small cells. I'm confident that the actions will lead to a cornucopia of unanticipated, innovative uses and will generate tens of billions of dollars in economic activity. And that's damn important.
Oh,
whoa.
Because it means that U.S. companies will be the first out of the gate. And that is why 5G is a national priority. And stay out of the way of technological development. Unlike some countries, we do not believe that we should spend the next couple of years studying what 5G should be or how it should operate. The future has a way of inventing itself. Turning innovators loose is far preferable to expecting committees and regulators to define the future.
Wow.
Wow.
There you go.
That's intense.
Very intense.
Stay out of the way.
Stay out of I remember that. He said, stay out of the way of technology. You can't stop this technology from developing. Yeah. Interesting how they don't allow that with certain parts of medicine or technology development. But when it comes to 5G, get out of the way.
They absolutely do. It's the same principle with the mRNA vaccines.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Why should we spend years studying the effects of 5G? Why should we spend years studying the effects of mRNA vaccines? Let's just rush it. We'll get it out there. And again, with the same reasoning, billions of dollars of economic activity. What's been the justification for the rush of the vaccines? Billions of dollars of economic activity, not just getting the economy running again, but the $33 billion in excess profits by Pfizer last year. What was it? $11 billion for the other company. It's the same thing. Who cares what happens? Who cares how it affects people? It's economic process, and do not stand in the way. Because we know what happens when you stand in the way of the lizard people. So, yeah, I think a mix between the economics of it and the social engineering of it and the climate changiness of it and the, metaverse pods. I think they're going to keep the rollout. I still don't know why the aircraft industry did not respond faster. If this is what was being said in 2016, seems a little bit to be on them, but maybe there's some secret plan there too. Who knows?
It's all Trump's fault.
It is actually, which is hilarious.
Ironically,
he was a huge 5G guy.
He was. He was approved a bunch of stuff.
He was approving all sorts of stuff. He deregulated all sorts of stuff, all to open up the way for 5G, which is just so now, looking at the Trump scorecard, you've got 5G and you've got mRNA vaccine technology coming out. More or less unregulated as well.
This is the guy that's going to drain the deep state swamp?
He's draining the swamp.
He's draining with 5G and vaccines?
Well, the thing with Trump is he's a businessman.
Yeah.
That's his thing. He's a businessman, not a politician. And that's why people like him. But if you're going to like him, you got to like his business instincts, his killer business instincts on 5G and vaccines.
Oh, great. Wonderful. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's take a quick break to thank some other producers here.
Okay, let's do it, bro.
Take a break. This is our second break. The first break, we thanked our producers who came in with their treasure. This break, we thank producers who come in with their time and talent. Canary Cry News Talk is a place for therapeutic reflection of our troubling world, and we like to express that here with art, music, and jingles and ISOs of funny things and clip art and deep fakes and any medium of exchange of ideas and
culture,
the whole deal. We do it here.
We're very cultured here.
Yes.
Canary Cry News Talk.
And we're going to go ahead and thank some of our producers who came in with their time and talent. To start things off, we have let me get to the page here. Timestamps.
Timestamp. It's hard work. Timestamp.
It is hard work.
Hard work.
That's why I want to thank Jackie Yu for doing timestamps for episode number 434.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jackie Yu.
Thank you, Jackie Yu. And we're going to get into some people who came in with some audio production.
Audio production.
Ooh.
Lots of production in that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one here, or first and only one for today, comes from Marty B.
Biden's your Marty B jingle.
And let me find the actual note here. He had a couple of them here. We already did the timestamp one. Let me just see what... come on, internet. Give me where's my 5G connection?
We need 5G. Get in the pod, Gonz.
Yeah.
You're just asking about so which one do you have right now?
Hold on. Yeah,
Is it the supply drop jingle? It's the supply drop jingle.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. He didn't have a note with it.
Okay.
It's a supply drop jingle that he threw into the mix, and we loved it so much we made it the tail end of the supply drop section.
Waiting for supply drop.
We love it. Thank you very much, Marty B. It's a wonderful palate cleanser after the Canary Cry supply drop rant there that I go on, and thanking the producers. Gonz, how am I able to find emails faster than you?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I still can't find. I'm still looking for it. I'm like, am I missing something? Why am I?
You must
seeing...
be. I'm in the metaverse with a stupid pointy finger. I don't even have a keyboard, and I can find that email.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Marty B.
Thank you, Marty B.
One of our prolific and champion-esque audio producers. Appreciate it, Marty.
Thank you very much.
Oh, and we'll be playing. He had a request to play one of his songs on the mixtape.
Yes.
It's the Gonz.
Yes, the Gonz song. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll be playing a Marty B original after the show on the Canary Cry mixtape. Stick around for that.
Yep. All right. Some art.
One art, please.
And we're going to start it off with Dame Allie of the Skillets Nation.
One art, please. Another one from Allie now.
Here it is.
Here it is. This one's called Never Again Fascism. And it says
you want me to read the note?
Yeah, I have it here.
Okay.
Ali says that we talked about a guy on Monday, Nicholas Remoldi from Switzerland. He was protesting jab passports.
Yes, this was the fella who is leading, or who was interviewed by CNN about his movement there. For some reason, I thought it was in Italy, but Switzerland makes more sense. Where, he doesn't want to talk about the vaccines. It's not about the science. He doesn't want to get wrapped up in the quote unquote fake news of it all, because that's how they can rip you apart at CNN. He's simply leading a fairly large, I don't even know if he's leading it, but he's sort of some representative of the movement in Europe to fight back against mandates and things like that. And here's a beautiful portrait of him. He's seems like a pretty laid back dude. He's got sort of shoulder length hair. He's got sort of a scruffy stubble thing, Euro looking surfer dude. And this is a picture that showed up on the article with him holding up a cardboard sign. I have don't know what it's. I'm gonna just
never again fascism is what I think it says.
Right, but I'm gonna read it in the Swiss or the Austrian or German or whatever sort of Euro language this is. Nie wieder Faschismus. Never again fascism. Thank you very much, Allie, and thank you very much, Nicholas Ramoldi. This Nicholas Ramoldi fella seems like a prime target for some sort of scandal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, oopsies, found something naughty on your hard drive. Now you're on trial and the whole movement is discredited. You know, something like that.
Right. Makes sense. Good luck there, buddy.
Good luck there, Ramoldi. And thank you very much, Dame Allie. Beautifully done. As always, you know, I don't know exactly how many episodes in a row Allie has been doing art, but it must be at least 100.
It's definitely at least 100. It's way more than
Probably
that. Probably
more.
200, yeah.
And, I mean, you know, we've said it before. If you're looking for a way to stick with a craft and constantly improve it, just make sure to make something for each show of Canary Cry. You will improve immensely and become an expert. You'll get your 10,000 hours pretty quick.
Yeah.
And Allie is a great example of that. Thank you very much, Allie.
Thank you, Allie.
Dame Allie.
Dame Allie. Next up, Sir Dove, Knight of Rusbeltia.
Whee! Thank you very much, Sir Dove, Knight of Rusbeltia.
Yeah, it did that thing where I hit the button and it didn't come right away.
No worries, bro.
He says, peace for this week's set of players for the upcoming 2022 NWO Fantasy League draft. We put together some of the defenses you can pick for your squad. Psalm 40 in the community came up with having categories of players that each team has to choose from. That way, one team doesn't end up with all the elite lizard people, and we maintain a competitive balance in each league. I like this. Updated list of rules and regulations coming soon. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do. Keep praying for you.
Love it. Producers hard at work making the New World Order Fantasy League a reality. It's a dream come true. And we've got our next 4, what is it?
Players? Yeah.
Players. Yeah, they're the players in the NWO that you can draft onto your team. And here they are. This might be my favorite card so far. We've got the Antifa Rascals. If you remember from the Dove art, you've got the Dennis the Menace Antifa member. His specialty is store window and inventory liberation.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Some stats here. Wears all black for its slimming properties.
Yes.
And extra 10 points if positively mentioned or described as being against fascism.
Oh, hey, does that mean that this last guy would count?
No, because he wasn't Antifa. This is
true. You're right. But he was anti-fascist. Fascism.
This is like, if there's a riot and they burn down a building, and they say, yes, they are against fascism. They're Antifa
against fascism,
member.
burn down our capitalist country.
Yeah, no, Antifa protester attacks Trump supporter. Well, they did it because they're against fascism. Extra 10 points, something like that.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Jan Sixers.
All right.
And this is great because it's a logo. It's like a whole team, basically, like a basketball team logo called the Jan Sixers.
It's ripping off the Philadelphia 76ers thing, the logo and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, their specialty is absolute staying behind the velvet rope terrorism. Some stats. Favorite activity of flag-bearing grandmas and face-painted horn-wearing actors. That's true.
Yeah.
Double points anytime mentioned alongside Pearl Harbor or 9/11. That's a very, very poignant rule. Very good rule making there.
Yeah.
Next, we've got the Beehotties. The Beehotties are back.
I remember the Beehotties from the
This is fun. It's such great callbacks. The Beehotties, they are their specialty, winner of the agency's Most Valuable Asset Award.
2001 to 2016.
Through 2016.
That's funny.
Yeah. The agencies. Their strength, there's some stats. Some strength, accepting blame for the actions of others. Weakness, narwhal tusks. Again, a brilliant callback to the jihadi that got stopped on the London Bridge by a man with a narwhal tusk.
Yeah.
And more evidence that we're living in a simulation. They've got another bonus here. 10 extra points if news story refuses to name the organization using only ambiguous descriptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would almost just do a quick rewording on that.
Because it is a little vague.
Well, yeah, to fit, because there's the synagogue hostage situation recently.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
in Texas,
which we didn't put on the show. There's a hostage situation in Texas.
Those additional stories of last episode.
Do you remember how they described this man before they showed any pictures or told any names? You know, the immediate reports said, this man, a British citizen,
right? Yes,
has taken hostage all these people in a synagogue,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next report gave his name, and it's a Middle Eastern name. I don't know what it is, but had A's and H's in it. It sounded like a Middle Eastern name, and then said a British citizen, and then they explicitly said the statement from the police was, we don't have any evidence that his motives had anything to do with the Jewish community. And it's like, bro, come on. He's from the Middle East.
He's British citizen Malik Faisal Akram.
Yes, and he's over. Just forget all of that. If it was a white guy named Jake, old Jakey from down at this... from down at the bar. If old Jakey went into a synagogue and held people hostage, of course it's motivated by something about the Jewish community. But to have a guy from the Middle East do it, what are you talking about? It's not. And then, of course, the motive came out explicitly. He was taking those hostages in order to get this woman let out of jail who got put in jail for planning bombings in the Middle East and killing American soldiers, and was a total jihadi. So they're saying his motives for taking over the synagogue and holding hostages was not motivated by something about the Jewish community, but by, releasing someone from prison who hates Jews. Okay, sure, whatever you say. That would have been a great point-getting article for the Bihadis.
Ah, okay.
Anywho, I know I went on a rant there,
but it's okay.
It could be worded to add something like that.
Sure.
That would be Bihadi points. Wow, sorry, the metaverse is going crazy right now. All right, the last player here is the BLM. And it's the callback to Borg Lives Matter. Piece there. Specialty, most virtuous and justicey of all social organizations. Some stats, pays their executives really, really well. Yes, nice callback to the BLM founder who owns 4 mansions in all white neighborhoods now.
By the way, there was an article, I think something was trending about her, about how she had to go into mental health care stuff, and she's suffering from PTSD now.
PTSD? Because did she get lost in one of her mansions?
From all the hate she received from
all the attention.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. That happens to these social justice people, or just activist people. Remember the Coney 2012?
Yeah.
Coney 2012 guy went a little nuts too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
All right. BLM's last little bonus here. Triple points if labeled peaceful protesters while flames peacefully dance on the structures in background. That would have been 2020 would have been a winning year, but I'm sure they still got some fight in them.
Yeah, well,
2024 promises to have some BLM activity.
I was gonna say we're in the lull, the dip of a lot of the BLM protest stuff. Is it just because it's cold and Omicron and all that? People are inside.
I think they're saving up for the midterms or the 2024 election. They're fundraising. It's all fundraising right now. You got to get more money for bricks and buses and mansions.
Right.
Thank you very much, Sir Dove. This is wonderful. And again, I will just say to everybody who's working on the NWO Fantasy League, you're making my dreams come true. I'm very proud of you, and it makes me feel so warm and fuzzy. And I can't wait to continue the project.
All right, we got a microfiction from Runk Smash.
Whee! Here we go, Runk Smash with the microfiction. Covered in scratches, Gonz takes Monty 33 and fastens them to a converted Chinese killbot. Basil, the mullet blows in the wind, he shouts into the radio, taking his cue. Basil tearfully launches his space yacht as the 72 cats begin playing rugby. This summer.
Keep going.
Okay. Space Yacht and Kitty Rugby comes to a theater near you. Thank you very much, Runk Smash. Oh, I got a little teary-eyed on this one, you know? It makes for a really good story when the evil villain is also your best friend, and you have to launch them into space to save the world. Great use of the space yacht and the rugby team there, Runk Smash. Thank you very much. It's nice to know that my sort of insane ramblings can get recycled into some other lore.
Yes, very good.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Runk Smash. And we're going to, real quickly here, talk about meetups.
Canary Cry Meetup.
CanaryCry.Meetups.com is where you can go to find out if there's a meetup happening near you. And if there's not, then you can facilitate your own meetup. Choose a location, figure out a date and time, make a flyer, and promote it. We'll help you do some of that. Or you can contact people who have done it before. People like Ciara, who is doing the Zoom meetups every third Saturday of the month, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific time. You can contact her, ciaralauren93@gmail.com to find out more. She's also heading the Washington and Canada Canary Cry Community Meetup at the Peace Arch National Park on March 19th, a couple months away here. Almost exactly 2 months away, right? Yeah, because it's the January 19th today, so 2 months away. And contact, especially if you're in Canada, contact Ciara to organize that meetup there. Okay, this Saturday, Florida meetup happening. The Florida Panhandle Canary Cry Community Meetup, 5:33 p.m. at the Ye Olde Brothers Brewery in Navarre, Florida. Kids welcome. kmbrown815@gmail.com. and jackie.umfrey@mail.com. Contact them if you want to know more or if you want to RSVP to this one. It's coming up Saturday. So if you're in the Navarre area in Florida, join in. Go meet some other Canarians. And a little bit up north, South Carolina meetup also this Saturday. South Carolina, yeah.
Real quick, did you get the update for this?
Which one?
For South Carolina.
From last episode or from this episode? Another one.
Today.
Okay.
Yes.
I did not.
Okay. This is South Carolina Super Southeast Mega Meetup. It is still this Saturday, January 22nd, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. The location has changed.
Okay.
You know, all the crazy weather stuff going on and some other stuff. It's all crazy. So the location has changed, Gonz. You'll find the new flyer in the email here. The location is Southern Growl in Greer, South Carolina. Southern Growl. Ooh, sounds fun.
Oh, yeah. No, that was from last episode, that update. Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe they sent in the new flyer.
Oh, maybe the flyer. Yeah, okay, you're right. They didn't have a flyer last episode, so maybe that's what came in.
Got it. Okay.
All right, we'll update that for you.
We got the new flyer we'll put up on the website.
Okay, perfect. Yep, so there you go. What Basil said.
Southern Growl.
Southern Growl. Contact producer JC or producer Morv at sccanarians@protonmail.com to find out more about that one. And that meetup is for anybody in the Georgia, North Carolina, or South Carolina regions. And February 12th, 2022, San Antonio, Texas. Currently scheduled at 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time at Demos Greek Food on North St. Mary Street, but that can change. Contact Dwight B at bemisdead@yahoo.com and organize a meetup with Dwight B, who's leading the charge in San Antonio. We know at least one who will be there. Yep.
Texans, time to show up.
There you go. And that's all the meetups planned right now. A couple big ones this weekend. Looking forward to hearing reports from...
Yeah, some Gonz birthday meetups.
Gonz birthday meetups.
Make sure to head to CanaryCry.Meetups.com, print out our faces there so we can show up at your meetup. And going to be great. Yes, go find a meetup, CanaryCry.Meetups.com. If there's not one near you, put one on yourself. It's easy. Look at all these producers putting them on. All they're doing is picking a time and a date and a place and letting us know about it. And Canarians from all around their community are gathering together, meeting each other, having a wonderful time, and showing off their Canary Cry knowledge. Okay.
This is fun!
Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're good. I think it's time to wake up. I don't know. I guess I can pitch Canary Cry Bingo. Go get CanaryCry.Bingo.com. All right, let's wake up.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
All right. We have...
No, continue.
Welcome to
Bloomberg.
Yeah, why don't I start this one out here
Okay. Yeah,
for you. This is Bloomberg. 5 reasons Microsoft is making Activision Blizzard its biggest deal ever. Microsoft Corp is buying Activision Blizzard Inc. in a $68.7 billion all-cash acquisition, uniting 2 of the biggest forces in video games. You an Activision Blizzard fan at all, Gonz?
I've applied. Ironically enough, there's a big Blizzard. I was about to say factory, but office down here where I'm at. I think it's like the main one, and I've applied multiple times to work there. And
I remember that
never,
when I was
ever wanted to have anything to do with me. So
that's funny. Yeah, when I was down there, I felt very cool for being so close to the Blizzard headquarters.
Yeah,
Blizzard is one of the most famous video game companies that made StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Overwatch, League of Legends. It's the whole thing. Activision, also one of the oldest and most famous video game brands, and they merged recently to sort of create this behemoth video game empire.
Right.
And now Microsoft is buying them. So cool. It's the software maker's biggest deal ever, almost 3 times as large as the 2016 purchase of LinkedIn. Here are 5 key reasons why it happened. And I think this is fun because there's 5 key reasons. It kind of feels like they left one out, Gonz.
Really? Which one?
We'll get there.
Okay.
1, size. The transaction, if it can get regulatory approval, will create the world's number 3 global gaming company, catapulting Microsoft to just behind China's Tencent Holdings, the publisher of League of Legends. Oh, I got that wrong. Sorry, Blizzard apparently. Oh, I was thinking Overwatch. League of Legends is not Blizzard. Please don't hurt me, gamers. I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel so much shame now. Oh, so much shame.
You're supposed to be the gamer expert over here.
I can't believe I said that.
Oh my gosh. Our credibility has just tanked.
I must commit seppuku. Gamer seppuku. Yeah. And game console, I'll do it in the metaverse. The game console rivals, the publisher of League of Legends, the game console rival Sony Corp, maker of the PlayStation. Activision couldn't compete in the new world of gaming on its own, Chief Executive Officer Bobby Kotick said in an interview, quote, "You look at companies like Facebook and Google and Amazon and Apple, and especially companies like Tencent, they're enormous, and we realized that we needed a partner in order to be able to realize the dreams and aspirations we have." Corporations are people too, Gonz.
Yay.
He said, as for Microsoft, quote, "Together, our ambition is to bring the joy and unity of gaming to everyone on the planet." Joy and unity of gaming. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella told investors on Tuesday. Just a fun comment. I think it's hilarious that the language is very similar to the RoboCops.
Right.
And there was just a study that came out. Again, I thought about bringing it to the show, and I didn't. So I should start following my instincts a little better. Talking about the gamification of everything and how it's killing us, basically.
Interesting. Yeah, well, everything is being gamified.
Yeah, so it really is. It's very strange to be on the precipice of this moment in human history where games lead everything. Economics, social interactions, gamification is even included on your employment. You know, Uber famously has gamified the whole job, so you feel like you're playing a game while you're working for your income. And gamification is used in social psychology. It's basically for manipulative purposes. They call it motivation, but gamification is a great way to control large groups of people. So when you're talking about, Microsoft, team, and some other big companies, Activision, Blizzard, coming together to create a giant American-based gaming company, what you're really talking about is like a control mechanism for the masses. And gamification in these game companies, they show up in all different ways, even ways you might not notice it. And this article with the study I was reading was talking about how everything is gamified. You don't even know it. You need to train yourself to spot gamification, or else you're being, you can still game or participate with the gamification. But if you don't spot it, then it's, you're just sort of mindlessly moving through somebody else's economic system. Next up, we have mobile. This is the other reason. Its fastest growing segment of gaming. Activision owns mobile gaming studio King, maker of Candy Crush, one of the most popular games of all time. Microsoft has next to no experience in mobile gaming. Quote, we all know that the number one gaming device on the planet today is the mobile phone. Phil Spencer, the Xbox chief, who on Tuesday was named CEO of Microsoft Gaming, said in an interview, for similar motivations, see Take-Two Interactive Software Inc.'s deal to buy mobile game maker Zynga for $11 billion, announcing earlier this month. Zynga, I think, most famous for Farmville, if I remember correctly, or Seppuku. Mobile, just a note here, connecting this with the 5G movement and everything. Definitely connected to that broader trend. 3, bypass App Store fees. Nadella wants his gaming empire to be big enough that gamers will come to it directly, bypassing Apple Inc.'s App Store. Microsoft has been at war with Apple and Alphabet Inc.'s Google over the fees the App Stores charge for games. Quote, today we face strong global competition from companies that generate more revenue from game distribution than we do from our share of game sales and subscriptions, Nadella said on a call with investors. We need more innovation and investment in content creation and fewer constraints on distribution. Or as Spencer said, when talking about mobile phone gaming, distribution on those devices are controlled by two big companies. So Microsoft wants its own unfettered ability to distribute games and content, which is a fun clue towards some sort of big product for Microsoft. If they're not going to distribute mobile games through the App Store or Google Store, how in the world would they distribute games to phones? They must create their own hardware. So we got to keep an eye out for some Microsoft hardware, mobile hardware. 4, Metaverse. Gaming is one of Microsoft's two big Metaverse plays. The other is Office and conference software. Nadella and Spencer already view the communities of gamers that have grown up around titles like Minecraft and Halo as similar to the Metaverse concept. The acquisition will offer even more massive and devoted game communities to create their own metaverses. When we think about our vision for what our metaverse can be, we believe there won't be a single centralized metaverse, and there shouldn't be, Nadella said. We need to support many metaverse platforms, as well as a robust ecosystem of content, commerce, and applications. Really weird. That metaverse was just like a weird thing that we had been talking about for years, and suddenly Microsoft is using it as a reason to make its biggest purchase ever in history.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that connects again with the hardware thing.
Yeah,
I think we can see a metaverse, a mobile/metaverse piece of hardware from Microsoft soon. Maybe it's the Metapod.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see. Because, we know Apple's working on a device. We know, who was it? Facebook. Facebook is already out there doing it. Yeah, Oculus is already out there. Mm-hmm. So I think you're right. This is one of those things, a hardware play on one level. But also I think it's interesting how they talk about we believe there won't be a centralized metaverse. It'll be all over. But once interoperability comes into play, we're going to have all these different metaverses, and then eventually the rails between different metaverses will be created, and so there'll be like a metaverse one world order, or like the one single way to interact with all metaverses and stuff. And
as we know, that's definitely the plan. This whole decentralized metaverse thing is hilarious when corporations talk about it.
Yeah,
because if they could have the one metaverse, they definitely would.
100% they would.
Decentralization is not a value of theirs.
No.
It's just they know that they couldn't possibly corner the market on it, and so it's just virtue signaling, basically.
Yeah. I'll make your point.
And it's not even their virtue. It's fake virtue signaling.
Yeah, I'll make your point when I bring up my thing here, but you want to go through a couple other
the last one here is the 3 C's. Nadella corporate strategy has been coalescing around cloud, content, and creators. Microsoft wants to get as much of Activision's past and future content onto its cloud gaming service, Xbox Game Pass, which has been bolstering the software maker's sales with a steady stream of subscriptions revenue. The deal also lets Microsoft tap into a pool of players creating their own gaming content and worlds. After adding Minecraft, LinkedIn, GitHub, Nadella has been shopping for a big asset that would give him another large community of creators. He failed to land social video service TikTok and talks with Pinterest, and Discord similarly went nowhere. Activision is the latest try, and this time he looks to have succeeded. Now, knowing what we know, and I know you know the answer, so let me just set it up for you. Knowing what we know about Microsoft and what they have been sort of quietly doing in the background, what connects all of these reasons together? The largesse of the size, the third biggest gaming company, mobile phones and new hardware, bypassing third-party fees and app stores, the metaverse, and of course, connecting cloud content and creators. Gonz, is there something that Microsoft has done recently that would tie a nice little bow around this New World Order beast system foundation they've laid?
666.
If you guys remember, it is a patent that Microsoft made public a couple years ago now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's patent number 060606.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
And I imagine that everybody here, even if you're a brand new listener, I imagine you've heard of patent 060606, but why don't you remind everybody exactly what it is? Because a lot of people think it's like a vaccine or something.
I have the Google patent page right here, and I'll leave the link in the description. Cryptocurrency system using body activity data.
Mm-hmm.
And so the abstract here says human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. It sounds like a robot wrote it. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system.
Very good.
And award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activate data is verified. Now, I got a couple things highlighted here.
Hold on. To put it in human terms, just to put, for all the humans out there listening, what Gonz just said, was they patented the system for more or less a wearable piece of hardware connected to the blockchain and the cloud, which
measures biometric data that can mine cryptocurrencies,
movement specifically, but also other things that can mine cryptocurrencies. So when you talk about the Microsoft merger with Activision and Blizzard, you've got size, which is, I'm going through their reasons for doing it. Size. Okay, you need a huge company and to reach a huge amount of people to wear this new Microsoft wearable. Mobile. Of course, this wearable will be on 5G, and you got to have it on some sort of mobile network, or else what's the point of anything? Bypass App Store fees. It'll be their own patented system, and you don't need to pay Apple App Store fees when everybody's working on their Microsoft coin cryptocurrency that they're mining with your new piece of hardware. Metaverse, of course, gaming, cryptocurrency and gaming is inexplicably tied in the future. And the 3 C's, of course, cloud, content, and creators having a huge bunch of stuff that they can provide on this piece of hardware. So it seems perfectly poised, Gonz. And this merger was a signal. And I don't think a lot of people saw this or made this connection. But we can definitely see how things are lining up for this big, huge play that Microsoft is going to be making in the wearable blockchain gaming social space.
Yeah, and part of the patent here, Concept 24, talks about a device comprising of one or more processors coupled with a sensor that sensors body activity and, can gather that data into the network. And then another one that talks about, let's see, the system of any preceding or succeeding concepts wherein the body activity sensed by the sensor comprises at least of one body radiation emitted from the user, body fluid flow, a brain wave, pulse rate, or body heat radiation. I mean, literally, it's like
quite
complete
the
tracking. Yeah, censoring.
But Gonz, if they were to make a device that could measure your brain waves, wouldn't that mean that it would need to be worn on your head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perhaps this patent 060606 that they plan a massive rollout of hardware to connect everybody with cryptocurrency and the blockchain and the metaverse and 5G. Perhaps located on the forehead.
Very much so. And then one of the things that it says here in the patent, which I think is important to specify, and I have before, section 0002, and it says how there's a lot of cryptocurrencies that exist. Some cryptocurrencies are decentralized. And then it says here, however, blockchain-based cryptocurrency can also be implemented in a centralized system, having a central point of control over the cryptocurrency.
That's so nice.
And then it says Bitcoin is one of the examples of blockchain-based cryptocurrency. It is described in it, and it's like, wait a minute, you just said how a cryptocurrency can be centralized, and then you flip back to Bitcoin, which is the most decentralized network that we have here on known Earth.
Yeah.
So I think it's
possibly off-world.
And yeah, possibly, yeah. All the satellites and moon bases mining Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is an important point because they don't want to piggyback on the open source, transparent, can take down the entire centralized banking system network that is Bitcoin. They want to have their own centralized blockchain, permissioned, private system that all the biometric data can, and then all the you're going to work out and you're going to mine Bitcoin. That is part of the play to earn, the play to earn system where you're playing a game, or maybe if it's
well, you don't even need to work out. It could be the brain waves.
It could be the brain waves.
If it's reading your pulse, your blood pumping, your brain waves, all that can be transferred into mining cryptocurrency too. And what's happening while you're playing video games? Your pulse is racing, your brain is firing, you're doing the whole thing.
Here's the thing though. Part of the whole medical dictatorship as part of this is that, hey, you're not getting if you don't get a certain amount of exercise, not only are you going to be unhealthy, you're not going to get paid. You're not supporting the network.
Yeah,
it really is we're becoming more and more like what is prophesied in Revelation 13. I had a few other things highlighted, but I think you get the point here.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because just reading this interesting business article about a Microsoft acquisition. Ooh, I hope they make a lot of money and my stocks go up. But you really got to kind of pay attention to the things they've been doing recently and the trends of, technology in general. And they are really set up for something pretty intense.
Yeah, I like how the patent also says that most cryptocurrencies refers to, cryptocurrencies, digital currencies that use a blockchain, but it doesn't have to use a blockchain. And direct quote, the system, method, and computer program products described herein may be applied to both centralized and decentralized cryptocurrency networks or databases.
Which matches perfectly with the Bloomberg article when they're sort of virtue signaling decentralization of the metaverse.
Right. There you go. Along those same lines here, just keeping track of all the NFT stuff. This is another Bloomberg article in Technology Crypto. You won't need crypto to buy an NFT on Coinbase's market. And real quick, we don't have to read it, but basically Coinbase, which is the biggest exchange in the U.S., they're publicly traded company now, got into a partnership with MasterCard, and they announced it on Tuesday. And part of what they're going to build is an NFT marketplace so right now the way it works is that if you want to buy NFTs, you have to download a cryptocurrency wallet, and you have to choose which network you're talking about. The biggest one is Ethereum, so you have to buy Ethereum, and then you got to get the Ethereum and go to a place like OpenSea, which is a Ethereum-based NFT marketplace, and then you buy an NFT, but then if you buy the NFT, you got to pay what's called gas fees. And those gas fees, because of the way the Ethereum network works right now, is very, very expensive, and it's just a big hassle. But Coinbase is saying, hey, forget all that. Just give us your dollars, baby. Straight fiat dollar, you can buy your crypto NFT.
That's their whole model.
I think this is going to be massive for adoption. I believe the number was 30 million people have Coinbase accounts. It's some huge number. So whenever they roll this out, it's going to be massive. And so just keeping that in mind. But meanwhile, while MasterCard teams up with Coinbase to stay relevant as we move into Web 3.0 and the fourth industrial revolution, over in Reuters here, under finance, headline, UK regulator fines MasterCard, others for prepaid cards cartel. They're in a little bit of trouble. It says here, London, Britain's payment regulator on Tuesday fined 5 payments companies, including MasterCard, a total of £33 million.
Yay.
For cartel behavior involving prepaid card issued to vulnerable people on welfare benefits.
Oh my gosh.
Cartel behavior.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
They're like loan sharking.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just funny that they would use the word cartel, because we all know that's what it is. But for a mainstream news outlet and a UK regulator to use the words cartel behavior, it's pretty kind of big, I think.
That is pretty funny.
And it gets into some of the more details here. The cartel meant recipients of the cards, who included the homeless, victims of domestic abuse, and asylum seekers, could have missed out on cheaper or better quality products, the regulator said. So, whatever. But there you go. I mean, it's a changing of the guard here. I think part of the process of the Great Reset of changing all this over is exposing some of it, and then we'll know who the true players are of the lizard people, elite, Illuminati, whatever, because they'll be like Teflon. They'll have all these things thrown at them, and some of the other companies will fall. They'll go by the wayside, but the ones that will survive and adapt will remain. And if the companies that do survive all bring the sentiments of the whole totalitarian rollout of Web 2.0, then we can expect, we'll know what to expect when some of the same players present their Web 3 platforms or metaverses or whatever it may be, devices. One more story here about AI.
Artificial intelligence.
That was loud. And I thought I'd do this little list here because, lists are fun. This is the Enterprisers Project, bringing you the headline, Artificial Intelligence, 7 Trends to Watch For in 2022. You want to hear the trends?
Let me hear them.
Okay. First trend, data wrangling tops the agenda. Mm-hmm. Most enterprises are relatively early on in their AI journeys. Unlike the Googles or Facebooks of the world, they spend the majority of their time and resources wrangling data. They need to build modern data pipelines. Quote, most AI models are hungry for massive amounts of data, and organizations need to build flexible data pipelines that can evolve to support thousands of sources, incorporate structured and unstructured data, and provide it to data scientists in a meaningful and reliable way, says Eric Brown, a senior partner in technology at West Monroe. Quote, traditional ETL, that's extract, transform, and load, ETL, and relational stores must be complemented for more scalable data lakes. Data lakes. Never heard that before.
Me neither. Data lakes.
Data lakes.
Data lakes of fire?
Lakes. Bingo. There you go. In many cases, data streams must be provided to be processed in real time. Oh, so there's a data stream out of the lakes.
Okay.
Right? This goes right in line with the Microsoft device there. I mean, that whole 060606 patent is a data capturing device that they're talking about.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that more data capturing. Number 2, automated process discovery boosts RPA efforts. The future will be streamlined. Enterprise leaders can visualize their organization's automation potential using new process discovery technologies. Quote, though not purely focused on automation opportunities alone, these technologies will provide process-related insight not gained by any other means, says Wayne Butterfield, director of ISG. Process mining, task mining, and the up-and-coming conversation mining. Conversation mining. Ah, interesting.
That's what the NSA does.
I was going to say, they've been doing, they got a lot of data there. Okay, process mining, task mining, and the up-and-coming conversation mining enable, quote, lean on steroids, Butterfield said, giving the enterprise more autonomous means of developing a robotic process automation pipeline, RPA. These technologies will really come to the fore in 2022 and amplify the usage of intelligent automation in the process. Wow. Okay. So just some more data.
Data.
Number 3, AI enables effective supply chains. Okay. Saw that one coming. Number 4, customer-facing AI plows ahead. Chatbots. Number 5, natural language generation goes mainstream. OpenAI recently made its GPT-3 large language model already being used by hundreds of apps available by API. The most public example of the power of NLG, GPT-3, can be used in applications that require a deep understanding of language, from converting natural language into software code to generating answers to questions. Quote, NGL, which historically focused on turning numerical data into text-based insight, is now generating text from text-based data points and starting to change the game in creative writing, says Butterfield of ISG. Quote, the possibilities are endless, with GPT-3 also being used to create unique training data sets for NLP, Neurolinguistic programming.
Oh, wow.
Real-time generation of unique response in conversation AI platforms, and the capability and even being used to generate software code. 2022 should see even more usage of NLG and really catapult it to the masses. So just basically admitting that this natural language generation will help. The AI will basically be creating neurolinguistic programming language to persuade and whatnot. I mean, this is it. They have a propaganda machine. They've automated propaganda.
Wow. That's incredible.
Number 6, talent shortages threaten progress. Of course, we've known about this. This is all we talk about. And number 7, AI transforms IT productivity, which is, okay, yeah, that's kind of been the thing all along. So there you go. A little deep dive into what mainstream expects AI will do. 7 trends in 2022. Sounds like the world is ending.
Yeah, this gives me a great idea, though. We got to follow the trends, Gonz. I think we could get a free chatbot to put on the website. And input all the transcripts of our show. We'll have a Robo Basil and a Robo Gonz.
Experiment with it, see how it
just does. Inject all the transcripts. We've been making transcripts of the show for a while for this exact purpose. But now we can have little Robo Basil, Robo Gonz on the website. It's not going to help you with anything, but you can have some interesting conversations. For fun, just for fun.
Maybe that's the play. We just come out. What we do is we create an AI where all the data gets burned every time. Like more data gets burned, the more it talks, and it'll be our little contribution to the AI conversation, a self-destructing chatbot.
See, that's the problem, Gonz. We're always asking ourselves, and people are asking us, what can we do about any of this? What do we respond with? What do we do? And I think if we get transcripts of our show into the system, it could at least cause a little bit of chaos. It might be fun.
Yeah. Well, I think
you have an anti-AI, like a self-hating AI makes it into the system.
We just need to present it to the network.
No, even better. We find one of these chatbot services that, there's free chatbot services you can get. Because they monetize the data that comes in. So, you got people starting little online stores or something. They get a free chatbot. They get some help on their site. People think they're a cool, big, fancy company because they have a chatbot. And it's free. But it's free because all that chat is going into the AI learning mechanism of the company.
Right.
So, we get a Robo Basil, a Robo Gonz, or just Flippy. We'll just have Flippy on the website who's got all of our transcripts uploaded to it. And people can go on there and talk to a crazy Canary Cry robot chatbot. And then all of the craziness gets fed into the company who's giving us the free chatbot. And we poison the well, shall I say. Suddenly, their chatbots that are free across the internet start talking to customers about, the mark of the beast, the coming of Christ, the inevitable robo takeover, stuff like that.
There you go. I was trying to think. There was a Flippy story that we skipped. I can't remember when it was. Maybe last couple episodes. And it had to do with something you were talking about, and I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. So
nuts.
We're gonna move on.
Us and our puny human brains.
Maybe this was it. Robot arms using machine learning to get better. Maybe that was it. One of the things we didn't do was because it was kind of like the obvious thing was, and I think it was an older story too, but NASA was complaining that their rover on Mars got debris in it, the robot arm. And so it couldn't function. And meanwhile, China was celebrating their space robot arm, like completing a mission or something like that. So, it just reminded me of the Space Force clips that we played from a couple episodes ago where China is just trampling over U.S.
Space Force clips.
All right. Well, anyway, I think that's
that's it, right?
Yeah. Well, to wrap it up, President Biden told us what's coming with AI.
Armageddon's on the way.
Whee! All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in again. And again, we'll be on Friday the 21st, Gonz's birthday episode. Whee! Yeah. So go ahead, tune in on Friday. I dare you. And remember, we'll need some producerships for that episode. And if you could do a Gonz birthday producership, which I think we agreed was $39.39 because he's turning 38. Just kidding. He's turning 39. So
you got me all excited for like,
wish
I 38? Oh, right.
Wish Gonz a happy birthday by producing the show. $39.39 next episode. You can do that by heading on over to patreon.com/CCNT or CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
CanaryCryRadio.com/support.
Also, make sure to check out CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. If you want to support the show on a monthly basis, you should go there, sign up to support the show in $33.33 a month, and you will start receiving free gifts all throughout the year. If you sign up this first quarter, you get the Canary Cry calendar in addition to your other free gifts. So that's going to be fun. There is a cutoff date, so if you're thinking about it, you should get on it, folks. We appreciate it very much as we march toward 100 members so we can up the coolness in quarter two. CanaryCrySupplyDrop.com. But I do want to thank the producers of this episode of Canary Cry News Talk, episode 435. And those producers are Maria, executive producer Maria, our other executive producer, Sir Aaron Knight of the Cute Little Piggies. Thank you for being such generous supporters of this episode. And of course, thanks to our Supply Drop signer-uppers, Levin Ya and Sanford S., as well as Gretchen G. And thank you to the rest of our producers, Christian D., Jeff B., Sarah L., Palmer B., Morv, Heather Sir Russ, JC, Sir Casey the Shield Knight, Sir Scott Knight of Truth, Sir Simon's Knight of the Fishes, Rock Smash, Child of God, Dr. Who Done Dat, Veronica D, Gail M, and Amanda P. Thank you all for your financial support of the show. We can only continue doing it with the producers doing the producing. And also, thank you to our creative producers and our hard-working producers with their, oh my gosh, hold on. Monty 4 has this thing where he loves the water jar, and my whole life now is Monty 4 knocking over this giant water jar and spilling like a gallon of water all over my floor over and over and over. Sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes early in the morning, sometimes while I'm recording a podcast, and it is a complete nightmare and he can't stay away. And now he's clawing the chair. He's mad. He's angry. Gonz, prepare the space yacht. We got to launch these suckers.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you to our producers who give us their time and their talent as well. Jackie, you are time stamper, and of course our audio productionists, our artist producers, and other content creation producers. Thank you all. And you too can support the show with your time and your talent if you want to get involved in all the crazy things we got going on. I mean, the list just keeps growing. 2022 is off to a smashing start, and to keep the momentum, we need help. So if you want to just get involved, volunteer, hang out with other producers, work on stuff to keep this train a-rolling, just send us an email at CanaryCryRadio@gmail.com. Or if you're a creative person and you just want to create, if you're an audio producer, an artist, or an author, or whatever you do, create something, send it into the show. We'd love to feature it on the show. I'd love to meet some new and aspiring Canary Cry artists and producers, audio producers. We've got a wonderful collection of incredibly talented producers, but it's been a while since some new blood is coming. So if you're out there, you're a creative person, just do it, man. Create something for the show. Send it in. That's how you start. I know it can be intimidating with our awesome collection of artists and musicians who have their own jingles and things like this, but don't be intimidated. Get involved. Send it all in. CanaryCryRadio@gmail.com or CanaryCryRadio@protonmail.com. And other than that, you can support the show in all sorts of ways. You want to join the street team? You're in, baby. Go to CanaryCryStreetTeam.com. There's all sorts of fun flyers. My cat is now chewing on the headphone cord, which is making very bad sounds in my ear. Monty, this is why the door is usually closed. Get out of here. Where was I? Street team, all sorts of flyers, like more than a dozen. There's like almost 20 different flyers that Sir Dove created that you can print out and hang up all around your community. They're hilarious. People will definitely stop to look at them, and they might find the show because it's got our URL on there. If you do that, take some pictures, send them to us, or post it on social media, tag us, something like that. We'd love to take a look at that. Oh my gosh, I forgot some art. Oh, nuts. Well, it's their fault. They didn't email it to us. Somebody sent some great art over Instagram and asked them to email. So we've got something very fun coming up in February. What was I saying? Street team. Do the street team. Get the flyers. Go. CanaryCryBingo.com. Go. Do it. Make your own DIY bingo cards for 2022. We'll upload them to the website. Wow, you're right. This is getting a lot. Share the show. Just share it with your friends. Social media. Text it to them. Burn it on a disc and throw it at their head.
No,
is that what you did with CDs? No. I'm sorry.
Don't hurt anybody.
I was pretending to be a Gen Z for a second. Gotcha, Gen Zers, you little babies. I'm just kidding. I'm old. Share the show on social media. Hit that little share button. Post the link. It doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of followers. It's okay. It's just all about algorithms, baby. Once the links are out there, the algorithms latch onto them, and it helps the show and you for some reason. Speaking of algorithms, leave ratings and reviews. I'll be reading ratings and reviews on Friday. And if you haven't done it, especially you, podcast listeners, Apple podcast listeners, I see you. I see you on the charts. You're there. You're listening. You're not leaving reviews. Go leave reviews. Last review reading session was pitiful, but also hopeful because we had one wonderful review. But the rest of you need to leave reviews. We appreciate it very much. It's easy to do. You got Apple Podcasts. You know how it's done. Click the review button. Do it. And it's not just about your review. It's about the collective review, which is the algorithms tying us all together. Seeing that people like the show, rate the show, listen to the show, and then the algorithms go, yes, I am robot. I do rule the world, and I know what's best for humans. I will share this show, Canary Cry News Talk, with them. And then they do. And it's very helpful. And I read it on Fridays so you can hear it on the show, and we can all thank you corporately. Other than that, there's all sorts of ways to share the show. You don't have to do it in all these great, effective ways that I'm telling you about. No, there's way more creative ways, albeit probably less effective ways, but they're fun. They're fun, and you can feel good about sharing the show and possibly wake somebody up to the fact that the world is not what it seems, that they're being lied to by the mainstream corporate media, which is a control mechanism of elite lizard people who have overlapping incentives in order to take complete control of your mind and your spirit. And we don't want that. We want people to break free of the cage, baby. And that's why if you're one of those weirdos who want to share the show in other ways, there's plenty of ways you can do it. Perhaps let me see here. Hold on, I try to think of something based on the show here. Nope, that doesn't make any sense.
5G.
Okay, let's go with that. 5G, baby. Here's the thing. 5G is on the way, and there's nothing you can do about it. The lizard people said it. I know. We don't have to like it, but sooner or later, the 5G will be coursing through our veins, giving us high-speed internet access to the nanobots and our implants, our cyborg implants into our brains. But here's the thing: that doesn't mean that all is lost, because you dear unsuspecting cyborg person, sure, you were born in the year. I'm assuming this person is listening to our podcast in about 30 years from now. That they found a rusty USB drive in the desert somewhere where once stood the Canary Cry commune that held the line against the encroaching transhumanism cyborg future until we were forced underground into an abandoned silver mine. But far into the future, Generation Omicron, where they were born, they got that Neuralink implanted directly into their brain right at birth. The nanobots went coursing through. They are fully vaccinated and boosted against COVID-33. And they're walking the desert because that's how they find peace in this crazy world. They've eschewed the prison that is the metaverse. And by metaverse, I mean normal life for a human being. And they find an artifact of a past long gone. They stick it into an old VCR, which is what they call MacBook Pros in the future. And they've boot it up, baby. They boot that antique up, and what is on there? It's a copy of something called a podcast. Podcast, that must be the old-timey name for what we call brain casts in the future. Wow, would have loved the old synapses to fire a little bit quicker on that one for a more creative name. But you know what? It's the future. They don't have to be creative because they got brain casts, baby. Well, you boot up this podcast and suddenly some crazy man with googly eyes and an old-fashioned virtual reality helmet is screaming at you to share the show. This is your moment. Right now, it's January 19th, 2022. We tried to warn you, Generation Omicron. I'm sorry they named this disease after you. We talk about it a lot, but I get it. You're trying to break free from the slavery of the system. You know there's something more, and I'm here to tell you that there is. So go ahead, go back into your Metapod and stick this USB into the data port and let these words ring out across the metaverse, or as you call it, human life, and let all these cyborg, brain-chipped, virtual cyberpunk kids of the world know that a revolution is coming, and you are that revolution, children. And go ahead and go to archive.org and search Canary Cry News Talk to learn more, baby. That's right. If you need to, have another word for it, we call it rattling cages. And here's what you do. You walk right up to him, you grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Gonz, any last words?
No. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. See you all on Friday. Did you have a t-shirt that said Friday, Monday?
Birthday show. Friday birthday show. Go do it.
It's not my birthday, though. But
it's your birthday show. It's my gift to you, Gonz.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And last but not least, just a quick mention for Ravel. Go check out Ravel. It's another show I do with a very smart theologian man. And it's good. And it'll give you something to listen to every week on Sunday and in between shows. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Give me a break.
shake things up, shake things up. I wanna shake things up, shake things up. Leave the bird alone. I wanna stir up some controversy. I wanna rattle a few cages. I wanna rattle a few cages. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. A crusader for the little guy. Little guy. Little guy. Well, we'll see about that.
Whatever, Illuminati.
sons of Noah came to their father and told him of demons which were leading astray his grandchildren. And so Noah prayed before the Lord, and he said, God of mercy, who has saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, who has not caused me to perish, as you did the sons of perdition. Your grace has been great towards me. Let also your grace be upon my sons. Do not let wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. For you know the watchers, the fathers of these spirits, and their actions before the flood, But as for these spirits, imprison them, Lord, in the place of condemnation. Let them not have power over the sons of the righteous, from henceforth and forevermore. So the Lord God sent his host to bind the spirits. The chief of these spirits came, and he said, Lord, Creator, let some remain before me, and let them hearken to my voice. For if none are left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will. Great is the wickedness of the sons of men. And the Lord God said, let 1/10 of them remain, as the others descend into the place of condemnation. The Lord's host did all according to his works. All the malignant evil ones were bound in the place of condemnation, and 1/10 part of them were left to be subject before Satan on the earth. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. All the days of Noah's life were 950 years, and he died. The sons of Ham were Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. And Cush fathered Nimrod. He was the first on earth to become a mighty man. He was a great hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went into Assyria and built Nineveh and many other fortified cities. Now the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to one another, Come, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone and slime for mortar. And they said, Come, let us build a city and a tower whose top may reach into heaven. And let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered upon the earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men had built. And the Lord said, Behold, they are all one people, and they have one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. And now nothing they imagine will be restrained from them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them upon the face of all the earth, and they did not finish building the city nor the tower. Therefore the name of it is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there he scattered them across the face of all the earth.
It's Corona time. COVID-19, 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 come down. COVID-19, 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 COVID-19.
Thank you, Jesus. Crawl on your belly. Standing in the office of the prophet of God in the Garden of Eden. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. I execute judgment on you, Satan, you destroyer, you killer. You get out. We break your power. You get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately. I call you done. No more. I call you gone. You come down.
What are we gonna do? Burn!
COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19,
keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths!